Hi guys, so before we begin, we wanted to tell you a little bit about the Forever Twilight and Forks Festival that we're going to in September. This is a festival that takes place every single year in Forks, Washington. It's a ton of Twilight fans coming together and celebrating their love for Twilight in such a safe and lovely and fun environment.
Yeah, and it is September 10th to the 13th, and we will be there actually doing a live show on Sunday. So
Yes.
if you want to meet up, we'll be there. And if you want to hear more, we did 2 episodes about the festival back in our archives, so
Yes.
you can listen to that.
Take a listen because it was quite an experience, and we are so excited to go back, and we hope that we can see you guys there. If you're interested and want to learn more, you can go to our old episodes, or you can go to forkswa/forevertwilightandforks.com to buy tickets. And you can reach out if you have any questions about the festival, and we'd be happy to help answer them.
Anyway, without further ado, here's the episode. It's our first day of shooting. We picked the most difficult set ever. Smoke, mirrors in every direction. Love it. Welcome to Twilight. You're listening to Another Bite of Twilight, a podcast where we look back on our obsession with the Twilight Saga and continue to freak out 10 years later. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to Another Bite of Twilight.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa.
I'm Kelly.
And happy Twilight Tuesday. Today's episode, guys, it's a big one.
We've been dreaming of this our whole lives.
It's honestly like, I can't even fathom that this is real. Like,
if you told me a year ago, even a month ago, even a day ago that this was going to happen, I would have
never believed you. I would have never expected it. But you know what? Miracles happen. And so, yeah, let's just get into it. We have a very special guest on the show today.
We are so proud to have Robert... You say it, Mel.
We're so proud to have Robert Pattinson on the show. I'm not joking. He graciously agreed to be on the show with us. He actually has been a huge fan of the podcast for a long time, and he actually reached out to us personally. He emailed us and was like, hey, I really want to be on the show. And we were like, oh my God.
Why don't we let him speak for himself? Rob, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Hey, I'm Rob Pattinson. I'm good, how are you?
We just can't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, Robert Pattinson, star of Twilight.
Yeah, it's crazy. Rob, thank you so much for being here. So how did you find our podcast, and why did you want to be on the show?
Rob? Rob, do you hear us?
Rob. Rob,
you know, looks like
I
we may have lost him. I think the call dropped.
Yeah.
And I think we're out of time. So, gosh. Well, what an honor.
Yeah, what an honor, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, this is happening a lot. Technical difficulties left and right. We're gracious that he wanted to be on the show, but the show goes on.
The show goes on, yeah. So that was our Pattinson, you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess now we'll just, since we don't have the real Rob, just talk about Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, just as good.
And the life, the man, the myth, the legend. Who is Robert Pattinson?
Who is he?
I don't know.
Is he?
Well, I know we just got a glimpse of him, but we never really will know unless we somehow became his friend and infiltrated into his life. But
yeah.
Anyone listening, do you personally know Robert Pattinson? Are you Robert Pattinson?
Let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah. I know. I mean, Yeah, we know that Rob listens. I hope he's not mad.
He just loves to relive his Twilight days.
I hope he's not mad that we're not trying to call him back or anything.
Well, I just tried and it went straight to voicemail.
Oh,
so.
he must still be on the line trying to talk to us. He's probably going on and on answering that question. So we'll leave the phones open in case he does call back in. But for now, let's just move forward with the episode. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to cover Rob's early life up until Twilight, or through Twilight.
Yeah.
And then Kelly's going to take over from there.
Yes, it's going to be similar to our Taylor Lautner episode and our Stephanie Meyer episode.
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty interesting because I feel like there's a lot of things which I knew at one point, but I forgot. And so relearning them about Rob has been pretty eye-opening.
It is. I'm excited to hear what you got to say.
All right. Well, I'll get into it. So, Mr. Rob. He was born in Barnes, London on May 13th, 1986. And I looked it up, and Barnes is I guess, so it's in London. I guess it has a very villagey feel. It's quiet.
There's like Hampstead Heath.
Yeah, there's not much nightlife there, and some consider it pretty posh and expensive.
Ooh.
And definitely people drive cars there instead of public transportation. So it's not he's from London, but it's not very city-like.
Well, London is huge. I studied abroad there, and anyone who lives there obviously can say it's just gigantic.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I feel like here that wouldn't be considered part of a city, you know?
Yeah.
But
I'm
looking at it now.
Anyone who is from London, are you from Barnes or do you know Barnes? Let us know. Tell us what it's like.
Barnes.
His mom is Claire Pattinson. She was a booker at a modeling agency, and his dad is Richard Pattinson, and he was a vintage car dealer. Well, they could still be doing those jobs. I don't know. They're both still alive. And he has said in interviews that his parents weren't really stage parents, but now that he's famous, his mom will call him to talk about things that she sees in the media that she doesn't know if they're true, or she'll call him and be like, I liked your shirt that you wore in that interview or something. But it doesn't really seem like they're, that, even though his mom works at a modeling agency, that they're that involved in the business. He has two older sisters, Victoria Pattinson. She is currently an advertising executive, and his sister Elizabeth, or Lizzie Pattinson, and she's a singer-songwriter. She sings backgrounds on the vocals when Edward walks into the cafeteria, and she also sings background vocals in Breaking Dawn a little bit too. Cool. And I didn't actually realize this, but she auditioned for the X Factor in 2014, and she reached the top 6 for people over 25, but was eliminated at the judges' houses.
Dang.
It seems like her career never really, she has an okay singing career, but it never really took off. And Rob has actually said that that's a big reason why he didn't really pursue his singing career, is because he saw how hard it was, or his musical career, because he saw how hard it was for his sister.
Wow. But he definitely has an advantage, though.
Exactly,
it's kind of weird he would think that.
Well, I think that why he didn't originally pursue it.
Oh, okay.
I'll get into it, but it kind of seems like he fell into acting when it wasn't really what he wanted to do, and now he's just doing it because it's what he's doing. As far as a little bit of trivia goes, so apparently Rob's sisters used to dress him up as a girl and call him Claudia when he was young. Apparently he was raised Roman Catholic. He had a paper route when he was a kid.
Me too.
He started playing piano at age 4 and guitar at age 15. His favorite movies are The Exorcist and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I've not seen either of those. His favorite music style is blues. His family they had a white West Highland Terrier named Patty Pattinson.
That's my dream dog.
Since the age he was 5. Yeah, so cute. But Patty. She died around the time that Twilight came out.
Patty Pattinson.
And he loved reading growing up. He still does.
Wow, sounds like my dream man.
So in school, he attended Tower House Preparatory School, which was an all-boys school, and he won the Untidy Desk Award, and he never really did his homework, and he got really bad grades. And then he was actually expelled at age 12 for stealing and selling pornographic magazines at school.
Rob!
Which kind of sounds like a made-up story, but there is because something I want to get into is a lot of things that Rob says in interviews seem very fake.
Yeah.
But this story, I think it might be true because like 10 years ago it was reported that he was expelled from school, and then very recently he kind of like then explained why. And it seems like there's some consistency there where he actually was expelled from school.
Wow.
But so he talks about it on the Howard Stern show, and I have a clip here.
I went to a very, very strict school, and then I got expelled from it, and I went to...
What did you get expelled for?
Never actually said this before.
I'm curious. Like, that's so, that's kind of cool.
I was, it's funny, I've never actually, I was like stealing porno magazines and selling them at school. and then
Everything was sex with you.
Man, you're a sexed up guy.
But like no one knew at all what to do with them.
Was it like a private school, she private school?
Yeah, and I'd sell them for a lot of money. And then...
what magazines were you into?
I was everything. I mean, when I got caught for it, it was when because I used to go in and like take like one or two and then put them in my bag. But I was in my school uniform when I was doing it, so it was kind of risky.
Right.
And then
what a great business.
But then at the end, I got so cocky that I would take the entire rack.
Oh, dear.
And you got caught?
And I got caught, and the guy...
You got caught stealing the magazines, or you got caught distributing them and selling?
I got caught stealing, first of all, and then I was so cocky about it when I remember the guy who worked in the store shouting, like, "Hey!" And then my two friends ran off.
Great.
And I turned around, I'm like, "What?" And then I walked back up to him, and the zip, I hadn't zipped up my bag. And it was a post office as well, this place. And
this is like your new movie. You're the worst criminal in that new movie. I was shocked how bad a criminal you were. And you were a bad, shitty criminal back then.
Yeah. But basically, it was like all these old people were getting their pensions in the post office.
What a brilliant idea. Yeah. So the old people are getting their pensions.
They're all lining up, and this guy is like pulling all these porno magazines. And it's when porn used to have like VHS tapes, like in the plastic sheet with it. And he's pulling all these things out. I was sitting there like absolutely humiliated. All the old people are looking at me disgusted.
Did he call the cops?
Well, he was saying he wanted to call the cops, and he's like, "It's either your parents or the cops." And I was like, I could just don't call the cops, call my parents. And then like I was trying to make up a lie of where I lived and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. You are a bad criminal.
It was terrible. I literally given maybe a house, like next door neighbor house.
But what a nice guy. He gave you a choice at least. The cops or your parents.
Yeah. But then he went to the school afterwards, and then it was but basically about a couple of days later, it just everything fell down. Like basically every single one of my friends snitched on me. Like, I mean, literally across the board.
You know, it's so funny. If we had only known each other back then, I used to get so much free porn. I could have supplied you if we had a nice profit built in.
And then, so after he was expelled, he attended the Herodian School, which is apparently a very, very expensive school that had a big focus on drama. It was very artsy, which I'm actually kind of surprised that he would be expelled and then his parents would put him into like a really nice school instead.
Yeah.
It almost seems like a reward for bad behavior.
I don't know.
It definitely seems like he comes from like a lot of money, his family.
Yeah. Maybe they thought he wasn't really being challenged in the correct ways at his other schools, so this one would maybe take his interest more, so he'd behave better.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you like hate math and stuff like that. I'm sure he still had to do math, but
probably
if you have classes that you actually excel in, I think you care more. So
probably that's a good point. So apparently when Rob was 14, he was in a rap trio, and he really admired Eminem, and he acted in several plays, and then he later formed a band called Bad Girls with his friends and performed open mics under the stage name Bobby Dupia. And Bobby Dupia is the main character in 5 Easy Pieces, which is a Jack Nicholson movie. And apparently Rob loves Jack Nicholson. Let's see, he was asked to join the band so he said in an interview that he was asked to join this band by his first girlfriend's later boyfriend.
Interesting.
So I feel like it would be...
So he dated this girl and then a guy in his band.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. I guess he really prefers music.
We heard that from Preston.
Yeah. And so, but he'd rather make money acting. He told Virgin.net in 2008, "My sister works so hard to make money, and I think it ruins you. I think it's a lot easier to make money in the acting world. You don't have to be so humble, whereas in the music industry, you have to really bow down to a lot of people to get noticed." And I kind of agree with that too. Like sometimes when you really, really love something, to try to commodify it can be like take the passion away from it.
Yeah.
It seems like acting is less personal to him, so he'd rather do that for his job.
Yeah, I mean, writing music is so personal, and it definitely becomes cheapened when money's involved, and so I get that.
I feel like he would have pursued a career in music had he had acting not taken off. And now that he is so famous, I almost feel like he'd be too self-conscious to put out an album.
Yeah. You should just do it, though.
I know.
I mean, a lot of actors actually have, like, indie music careers.
Yeah.
Like Zooey Deschanel. Like, even Michael Cera makes music. I mean, he doesn't do much lately, but it's odd. Like, Zooey Deschanel is pretty freaking famous, but she and him isn't somehow.
Yeah.
Actually, even Scarlett Johansson does music, too. She's a pretty good singer. So...
Do you think that if Rob did music, his level of fame would get more out of hand the way it was in previous years? Do you think he's nervous that, like, if he put on shows and stuff, there'd be big crowds of people there?
I don't know. I picture his music not being that mainstream.
Yeah.
I mean, just the songs he has in Twilight are kind of weird. So, I don't know. I don't really see that happening.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be like Harry Styles or something.
No.
I don't picture him being like, look at me.
Yeah. Playing the 2D garden.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I didn't know this, that right before he got cast in Harry Potter, or before his acting career took off, he was applying to go to university for international relations.
Interesting.
He wanted to be a political speechwriter. As most people know, he had a modeling career from age 12 to 16, and he apparently got a lot of jobs at first, but then stopped getting jobs once he started looking more manly. At age 15, he worked at the Barnes Theatre Company in London, which is where he helped organize props and movie sets because his father told him he should join because he was kind of shy, and his dad wanted him to talk to girls more. And then he began acting there in several plays and was approached by an agent after starring in Tess of Deroubles? Tess of the... I don't know how to say it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And Rob has said that is how his acting career accidentally took off. And I think it might have been there where he... Actually, no. This is where he met the age when he met his first girlfriend named Nina Schubert. And she was 3 years older than him. And they dated from 2003 to 2006. She was his neighbor in London. So from 17 to 20 years old. And apparently they actually moved in together when he was 19. So they were in a very serious relationship. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, Rob's had a serious relationship.
It's interesting because
just Kristen.
It seems like that's the span of his relationships have been 3+ years each.
Yeah, he always dates people that long.
He hasn't had, from what we know, a very quick relationship.
Nor 5 years or anything like that.
Yeah, true. But who knows, maybe Suki's relationship can last longer.
Maybe.
In 2004, he appeared in a German made-for-TV movie called Ring of the Nibelungs. And then he appeared in the period drama Vanity Fair, but was cut from the movie, which he didn't realize until he attended the premiere.
I wonder if he cried.
I know.
Wait, do you know about the story about how Timothée Chalamet went to the premiere of, I think... Is it Interstellar, the one he's in? I think so, and he was significantly cut from the movie, and he didn't know it until he went to the premiere, and I guess when he went home, he cried.
Oh, I would cry. That's so sad. Well, imagine him, because this is his first, big role for Rob.
Yeah.
Not big role, but, first big movie. And imagine, being so excited, and you go, and, you're at the premiere. Let's say it's in Los Angeles or wherever it was, and you sit down, and you are like, wait a minute, you're waiting for the scene.
and you
it
just
doesn't
don't show up
ever.
Why did they even invite him?
So sad.
Why don't they give him or Timmy a heads up?
I know. But
it's a business.
Well, first I wanted to say that this movie was actually pretty big because it's where he met it's seemingly his very best friend, Tom Sturridge, who was also in the movie. But being cut from the movie was actually a huge blessing because the casting director felt so bad that she didn't tell him that she ended up giving him the first run at the Harry Potter audition.
Wow.
So I guess it
Cool.
worked in his favor. And he later
Yeah.
said that he was happy he was cut from the movie because of that. And so, yeah, so he was cast as Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And he has said that he would have quit acting right before that had he not been given that opportunity. And from that, he was named British Star of Tomorrow by the Times, which is kind of interesting because he actually was the star of tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then he starred in a play called The Woman Before, actually, but was fired right before opening night because his mannerisms were weird, apparently, which I thought was funny. He said in an interview in Vanity Fair,
His mannerisms were weird.
I think I just got confused doing some random mannerisms as if that made an interesting performance. I thought, it's cool if you go like this, he says, suddenly contorting his body into a nonsensical pose. Pattinson went through a period of denial after his failure. I was going to all these auditions and telling everyone I got fired because I stood up for my principles and making up all this bullshit. I kind of just went nuts for a while. He couldn't land another job, stopped talking to his agent, and threw in the towel, opting to make his music take his music seriously, as all his friends were doing now. He began performing with a guitar in bars, either solo or with other friends. It was a scene he recalls a little ruefully in which no one gave a shit when you got on stage.
Funny time.
Yeah. But he did appear in some other acting roles. He appeared in the BBC thriller The Haunted Airman and a one-off television drama called The Bad Mother's Handbook. But then, so Twilight comes around in 2008, and I guess they were having a lot of trouble finding an actor for it. They auditioned, I think 5,000 people, and they hadn't found anyone. And so I have
Crazy.
this quote from the Summit Entertainment president, Eric Feig, and he says that he was talking to a colleague at lunch one day, and he said, "I know we've looked, I just feel there are a couple of rocks that we haven't checked under." I said, "There have to be some British actors that we don't know about that are this guy who can do a great American accent."
Why do they want a British guy?
I don't know. I guess they went through all the Americans. Do me a favor, go to IMDb and look at every young actor from ages 15 to 25 who was in Harry Potter or anything, even a tiny role, print out their headshots. I came back from lunch, she called all these pictures, and she said, as we were going through the pictures, "What about this guy?" And I saw a picture of Cedric Diggory. I said, "He's great," and that look that jumped out to me at that point, and I know it's a silly adjective to use, was Byronic. So that's how we got the part, is just them being like anyone in Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh.
But people weren't really convinced. I think Catherine Hardwicke at first was like, I don't know.
I think Stephanie Meyer too.
And a lot of the executives were like, can we make this guy really, really good looking?
I don't get that though. I think he's really handsome in Harry Potter.
Yeah, me too. Well, so they had to see him first. So he flew out to LA, which apparently he had a different audition that he was going to that he thought he definitely had the part in. I don't know what it was for, but he walked in, had a very bad audition apparently. He brought his guitar for some reason, and he didn't really know why he brought it. And then they were like, "Oh, were you going to play something?" And then he kind of chickened out and was like, "No." And then they were like, "Why do you have it?" I guess. I don't really know the
That's
full
so
story,
weird.
but apparently it was so bad and he didn't get the part and he's feeling really defeated. And so then when he went to the Twilight audition, he just had nothing to lose, and he thinks that's why he got the part, because he had a much different portrayal of the character than everyone else. Like, his was way more angsty and dramatic and just kind of like...
Whenever I don't really care or have a lot of stakes in something, that's when I get it.
Me too. Especially, yeah, like job interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
When you're desperate for something, it's
It's
not
harder.
going to work out probably.
Yeah. But so apparently he read all 3 books in one weekend, because at that time Breaking Dawn hadn't been out yet. And he told Vanity Fair in 2008 that he really liked them.
I believe that.
Yeah. And I guess he took a Valium before the audition as well. And also him and Kristen had chemistry, and she told Catherine to cast him. But after he was cast, as most people know, there was a lot of outrage online. People were really pissed about it because pictures had come out where he had really dark hair from Little Ashes that he was in, and I guess he was a little bit, not chubbier, but he didn't really have a six-pack or whatever. So they had to get his hair dyed, they got his eyebrows plucked, and they got him a personal trainer for the job.
Wow.
to make him better looking. And I guess
Crazy.
Catherine Hardwicke was like, and we'll hire a really good cinematographer. We're going to get all the right angles. Like,
my
almost as
gosh.
if this guy is, like, ugly that they had to, like, work on him.
I could never do showbiz.
No. And I guess he went through media training as well, but admits in an interview with The Guardian that he hates interviews and he usually gets by making silly things up, which I feel like we've seen in a lot of interviews. Like, he gave one interview on the Today Show once about how a clown died at the circus when he was a kid. And, like, Matt Lauer was like, what? What's the story? And it kind of, like, took up the whole interview, and it wasn't true at all.
So nuts. And then I think in present day, some bullshit article is trying to, like, cancel our Pattinson for that. Like, sit down.
Maybe we can insert the clip.
Thank you very much. You know, I was thinking during the introduction when I was a kid, and that's a long time ago, but, you know, the kids my age, boys my age, they wanted to be baseball players or they wanted to run away and join the circus. This is a very different time. Did you have any of those dreams as a kid?
Running away and joining the circus? No, the first time I went to a circus, somebody died. One of the clowns died.
All right, I'm not letting that go. How did the clown die?
His little car exploded. The joke car exploded on him.
You're being serious about this,
Seriously.
yeah? So did that kind of ruin the circus for you?
It was. Like, my parents had to, like, everybody ran out. It was terrifying.
It's bizarre. What a bizarre way to start the interview.
The only time I've ever been to the circus.
For people who didn't read the book that this movie's based on, tell me a little about Jacob.
So then for Twilight, he moved to Portland 3 months before shooting and didn't talk to anybody, and sometimes would wear the contacts on his own to get into character. According to Catherine Hardwicke,
He was obsessed.
yeah. According to Catherine Hardwicke, Rob was always drunk and playing guitar on set or after set. And Rob and Kristen were developing this complex and, quote, intense feelings for each other, which were what we needed, as in the production company.
Don't
She
say
says,
that.
for building their on-screen chemistry.
Complex and intense.
Yeah, I feel like Catherine really wanted them to have a real relationship, so it would make the film better.
That worries me, though. That makes it sound like it is fake. But Catherine, I don't know. Never mind.
Well, I feel like Catherine didn't want it for the sake of like marketing the movie. I feel like she
Yeah.
wanted it for the sake of
Being
their
well
chemistry
done.
on screen. So that same year, he also was in smaller roles like How to Be Little Ashes in the Summer House. But of course, he is most known for being in Twilight, which came out in November when he was 22, and that instantly made him a household name right away. And it became pretty obvious in the beginning that he was pretty uncomfortable with a lot of the fame and all of the screaming and crying fans. I mean, the fan reaction to Twilight at the time was like so often compared to Beatlemania. Like, I feel like it was kind of the first time in my lifetime that I witnessed people just like screaming and crying and obsessing over something.
It was insane.
It
We
was-
all know that. If you're listening.
Yeah, but I do want to talk about that a little bit more, I think, as we go on, about like why it became like that. And like also I feel like there's nothing like that even right now for teenagers
I don't know.
or anyone in
mean,
general.
We're not part of it, and I think it's, I don't know, I feel like it's not that mainstream, but I know K-pop has kind of had that.
Yeah.
Right now, though, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll like a few years later into this, I want to talk about it more because I feel
Okay.
like it really had an effect on Rob. But during this time, he was single. He was romantically linked to Camille Bell, but everyone really wanted him to date Kristen,
Yeah.
myself included.
Yeah.
So then after that, he signed up to do the rest of the franchise for $10 million. He shot New Moon, where he stayed in a very tiny hotel room in Vancouver. And in Italy, apparently, he couldn't leave his hotel room at all because of the intensity of his fans.
Oh my gosh.
People, I think he told one story about how he was on set filming the scene with Bella, and some fan in a wheelchair like broke through the barrier and like came up and like went to say hi to Rob. And so he like shook her hand or something and like talked to her because like what was he gonna do? Like this, he like didn't want to like have security escort this person in a wheelchair. And then the whole crowd of extras started clapping, and he felt like really embarrassed, as if he had like done some very saintly
Oh, that's
thing by just like
weird.
talking to someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
But it's like weird how it like technically that person like really broke boundaries and like shouldn't have done that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And it's around this time that he probably began dating Kristen Stewart. But not going to focus too much on that since we have our Robson episode.
We got a 2-part episode. You can scroll back and listen to it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Kristen really either.
Yeah.
When I get to my part.
Yeah. But she's a big part of his life at this time. So can't forget that. He also shot Remember Me in New York. And he stayed in Midtown with his sister Lizzie and his best friend Tom. And he told Vanity Fair, I thought this was pretty telling, that his other friends wanted to visit but are broke and he feels too self-conscious to fly them out because he doesn't want to feel like a dick. Also during this time, he was photographed shooting scenes with Emily de Ravin, who was his co-star in Remember Me. And at the time, fans would ask him to sign tabloids, which said like he was a cheater and cheating on Kristen. Like it was crazy.
Oh
like
my gosh.
people were so invested in his love life and also so invasive.
That would be crazy. Ooh.
And then I was reading a Vanity Fair article which shows just how humble he is, and I wanted to just read this quote because I feel like it's very telling of his character as well.
Go for it.
He says, or the writer says, what makes the lavish attention more awkward is that he believes he hasn't done anything to deserve it, or any praise at all, for that matter. He usually doesn't feel like talking to anyone, but silence makes him so uncomfortable that he ends up filling the air with a load of rubbish or just laughing nervously. He's often apologizing for being boring, for the douchey terrace that's attached to his hotel room, for telling you a story you might have read somewhere else already. When talking about seminal moments in his life, the main emotion he recalls is embarrassment. He'll dismiss his work in any way he can. When roles have been difficult, he'll say, I have no idea what I was doing. When roles have been easy, he says he didn't have anything to do with it. Despite the fact that he is an exquisite beauty with perfectly formed red lips and a face that might have been dreamed up by the romantic poets, he thinks he resembles a cartoon character. One of his legs is longer than the other, which makes him look, he assures you, like an idiot. That was written by Avingia Peretz for Vanity Fair, which I feel like is kind of, I don't know, something that is very charming about Rob is he seems so humble.
Yeah.
I mean, he really never seems cocky at all.
I agree with him. I mean, of course we love his work, and he did a great job with Twilight and his other movies, but actors don't really do anything to deserve the world, like, loving them. I mean, here we are making an episode about him, so I don't know what I'm trying to say with that, but yeah, it must be kind of awkward. It's like all these people are so obsessed, us included, but, you know, it's not like he's... I think he gets it. I think that's really admirable. Like, he's not curing cancer or, like, out, you know, helping people on the street. Maybe sometimes he does things like that, but... He's just an actor, so I think that's very down to earth of him.
Yeah, it is so crazy that, like, we revere these people so much. It's probably because it's easier. Like, you're not watching, and it's boring if you were to, like, watch someone perform life-saving surgery. Yeah, obviously those jobs are more important and more admirable, but at the same time, how can you obsess over that the way you can a movie that really you love and spoke to you?
Yeah.
And the actors are the faces of the movie. Even though sometimes what makes the story so great is the people behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, that always does kind of upset me. I do feel like the writers and directors and stuff deserve more credit than the actors.
Yeah.
No offense, actors. No offense, Rob. I know you're listening. But, I mean, they're the one that came up with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know.
But he is such a great actor, and yeah, it's interesting how he always constantly, that's like one constant, is he says he doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know how to act. But how has he managed to pull it off so well?
I know, but maybe he's just being honest. I feel like everybody kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
I feel like in my job, I think everybody's like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. He has like the constant, what do you call that? Imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
And I almost feel like when you are super successful, especially, that's when you doubt yourself the most because you're like, what did I really do to deserve this?
Oh, Rob.
And it's interesting because he really did kind of fall into it. Like, I'm sure he worked hard, like, going to auditions and stuff, but it seemed like acting was never really his passion. Like, he didn't really, like, eat, sleep, breathe it. He didn't dream about becoming an actor.
I wonder if he ever considered quitting. I mean, later.
Oh, later on.
I don't mean like in the
I
beginning.
almost feel like he might have considered it after Twilight.
Maybe. I wonder if it ever bugs him. If he's kind of like, ugh,
Why am I still acting?
like I want to do music. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess he can do it in his free time.
It is kind of interesting. Like, I feel like a lot of us sometimes give up on things that we really like. And, like, it's like, for me, I used to dance, and I don't really dance that much anymore. And every year that goes by, I'm like, Jesus, why am I not doing it more? And then, like, I, like, think, like, oh, I'll get back into it. And then I still haven't really fully done that yet.
Yeah.
I feel like he must feel that way about music, of, like, oh, I want to get, back into it. Like, I want to pursue it. But then he just...
I bet he still does it all the time.
On
like,
his
just as a
own.
hobby.
Yeah.
Dance is hard because I feel like it's almost it's in sports too. It's like kind of just for kids. Like you can join an adult league or something or class, but the whole structure of it and everything is just for when you're young.
That's what I hate about it, is because, like, you could do, like, drop-in classes, but you can't, like, be in a dance class or something, like a regular class where you perform, unless you're really good.
Yeah, I love that about Rob. I relate to what he says about feeling embarrassed all the time.
I feel embarrassed about everything ever in my whole life.
Me too.
So,
carry on.
So then he began shooting Eclipse, and, like, he's, like, probably definitely dating Kristen Stewart here. And then in 2011, he stars in Water for Elephants, and then he also films and stars in Bellamy. Then he goes on to film Breaking Dawn in Baton Rouge. And to get there, apparently, he took a road trip from LA with 2 friends. And
That's cool.
Told this really sad story about how he was in a quiet bar in the middle of nowhere in Texas. And it was so nice to be able to just sit in the bar and to drink and, like, to hang out. And it was something that he hadn't really experienced in such a long time. And so they went back to that bar. But then apparently word got out that he was there. And then huge, massive crowds had arrived, and he actually had to have a police escort take him out of the bar.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Because it was so wild.
I was thinking about that. I mean, this seems a little silly maybe, but with this whole coronavirus thing and being locked down at home, it was making me think about how a lot of celebrities, I think, are kind of trapped in their homes. Like, they can't really go places, and that seems horrible.
Yeah.
I love being alone among strangers out in the world, but, like, to not even be able to go to a bar without, like, tons of attention, like, you can't just, like, go out and walk down the street without attention. I feel like...
Well, why is it worse for celebrities, though? Because they have bigger houses. Are we not allowed in our houses?
No, I don't mean coronavirus, I mean in their lives
in general.
all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like they're sort of stuck at home. Like, that movie, we watched Match with the Stars last night, and the fact that she's, like, telling her assistant to go to the store and get all this stuff, maybe it's because she's super busy, but I think part of it is that, like, they just don't even want to deal with going to the store because they'll get attention, and that would suck.
That would be really sad.
I love going to the store, and I don't know, I would miss that.
Maybe that's why we didn't see a single celebrity in LA, is because they all have assistants doing stuff for them.
I mean, they definitely go out to eat and to bars and stuff, but I don't really know how they pull it off.
Yeah.
Maybe they, I don't know, just have their spots, and I don't know.
Maybe they have an entourage so people don't feel like they can just walk up to them.
Yeah, maybe.
Around this time, he adopted a dog, Bear, with Kristen Stewart. And this is really the height of his fame. And, you know, as I just said, I feel like he's dealing with a lot of harassment and stalking at this time. Apparently, several people had hacked into his email, and he pressed charges against them. And from all the interviews I read, it didn't really translate as much in, like, a personal, like, on in-person interviews. How do you say that? Videotaped?
Yeah.
But from everything I read, he honestly, at this time, I guess it would be like 2011, 2010, he sounds like really depressed and kind of out of it from the fame.
I can see that.
He has this quote, I think it's with Vanity Fair again. He says, "The experience of becoming a product with his face on wallets, tote bags, board games, and of course multiple action figures can get weird. With Twilight," he says, "you've got to please the franchise, a word the people at Summit repeat with every kind of reference." Like when he says doing the poster shoot for Water for Elephants, the shoot was like 10 minutes long, whereas the Twilight poster shoot was like 2 days in every position. And we were like, why are we doing this for so long? And they were like, corporate voice, oh, it's for the toys and the Burger King hats.
Oh my gosh.
And not that I have a problem with it. It's difficult for movies to make money. Whatever Pattinson says, drawing on a cigarette. There's nothing you can do about it. That's the way it is. But it is weird being a part of that, kind of representing something that you don't particularly like.
Yeah.
God, he says, I just really headbutted it. So at this point, I feel like he's really done with the whole Twilight thing. I know I often, that's something people say a lot. It's like, no one really hates Twilight more than Rob. And I don't think it's really he hates Twilight, but I think he really hates what it became with the franchise. And he hates the fame that came with it, where he really couldn't live a normal life anymore. And I feel like that's probably died down in the past 10 years a lot.
Yeah.
But at this time, with people being so hysterical about it and following him, I was thinking about this a lot. Like, why did the fan base, like, become so intense? And I feel like a lot of that was the marketing of the franchise itself. They wanted people to be like that. They wanted it to be, like, a huge, big obsession for people. Like, for me, when I was in middle school, I mean, obviously I never really went to any events which would make me, like, a screaming person in a crowd. But I feel like they always compared it to, like, Beatlemania and stuff.
Yeah.
And it made you feel like you want to be a part of something that's, like, very culturally significant. You want to be, like, one of those people screaming in the crowd who's, like, wrapped up in some historical event, which was, like, the Twilight craze. And that you're not really as big of a fan if you're not screaming and crying and fainting over being Team Edward or Team Jacob.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he definitely had a choice, but I don't think he knew what he was getting into with the first movie. And how could he... I'm sure he didn't want to be some kind of asshole who, like, didn't do the other movies. I'm sure... I don't know if when he did Twilight, I don't know if they even had the other movies in contracts or anything yet with the first one.
I don't think they did, yeah.
But do you think by New Moon there was? Like, okay, we're going to do...
Yeah, so after Twilight is when he signed on to do the next 3 movies.
Yeah. And I can
which
see...
they didn't know they were going to split Breaking Dawn up.
Yeah, and I don't think he knew even then. I think from Twilight he knew it was pretty crazy, but, like, how was he not going to sign up?
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
the star.
Yeah.
It's almost like he had no choice. He got sucked into this huge thing.
Well, I don't think after Twilight he even really... I don't think he was, like, sick of it yet. I think he, like... I think it was kind of exciting because he didn't really have a huge career.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, overnight, he had so many opportunities.
I feel like after New Moon is maybe when it started to get
a
little creepy.
Yeah. Well, it's like, honestly, harassment. Like, he couldn't really live a normal life at all. Like, this seems like a very unhappy time in his life from everything I'm reading. And I really don't think that means he hates Twilight or, like, looks back on it with bad memories. But I feel like all the effects of that kind of fame and being a part of the franchise, like, really took away his love for it.
I'm wondering, it seems like he always opens up to Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's the same writer each time, or if it, like, why is that?
I don't think so.
Like, why does he always talk to Vanity Fair? I think in my document I have him talking to Vanity Fair too.
I don't know. It's a good question. Well, so then in 2012, he filmed Cosmopolis, which I feel like was a big deal at the time. Like, he's in a Cronenberg film. He's in a serious film. Like, this is going to be the start of his serious acting career. And then in 2012, that year, he also had that cheating scandal with Kristen. As we all know, go check our Robson episode for that. This seems like, as I mentioned, like, just a really particularly difficult time. I almost feel like the cheating scandal was kind of like the height of negativity in his life. Not just because he was cheated on. I almost feel like him being cheated on seems like it was, like, the lesser problem, which was more just, like, the public humiliation and the scrutiny and all the attention for it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this was such a turning point where it almost seems like he could have, like, decided, like, do I even want to live this kind of life anymore?
I could see that.
And then Breaking Dawn came out, and that's all I have.
Cool. I guess I'll pick up from here. Yeah, so I have, it's November 2012. And Breaking Dawn's come out, Cosmopolis, and this is, I have a quote right to start. This is with the Washington Post, They said, at the risk of angering any of the directors you've worked with on Twilight, is there one film that stands out as most meaningful to you, either because of the experience or the way you felt it turned out? And he said, definitely the first one, by a huge margin. It was just an entirely different world. For one thing, it was just a really, really fun movie to shoot. It was difficult and it was crazy, but the experience was so different. I know I should have a British accent right now, but I'm just going to read it in my voice. Just having a really big young cast as well. I've never done anything like it since. Everyone was kind of unknown and had a feeling about the movie. There's definitely some excitement there that it could be either be a total miss or something could happen with it. And the writer, I'm sorry, I don't know their name, said, you said you hate the word franchise, so I'll try not to use that word. Signing on to a film series like this is a huge commitment, time-wise, and to the same character. Having just completed this one, do you see yourself wanting to do that again in the near future? It seems like you're choosing projects that are not in that vein. And Pattinson said, a lot of the stuff I've chosen, which I'm doing this year, I chose a year ago, and things change. The industry changes really quickly at the moment. It also seems like the only thing being made are franchise movies. You said the word, not me. And then Rob says, that doesn't mean I like it. Laughs. It only worries me because you just lose tons of control. As I get older, I mean, the stuff you put into the world is supposed to be representative of who you are. And if you don't have control over it, I don't know how to say, this is who I am, this is what I've made. It's not. It's a whole other thing. It becomes more of a job than an art. If I wanted to do a job, then I'd be doing a job, however ridiculous that is to say. I probably will be doing a job soon, cleaning toilets or something. And the writer said, I doubt that seriously. So it sounds like you could be interested in a franchise, but it would depend on what the project was. Yeah, I think it's a powerful thing. You look at something like Star Wars, no one's going to call Star Wars a franchise. Well, people do. And Rob said, just after the new ones, laughs, the first 3, that was a series, not a franchise. He's funny. He sounds like I mean, he's cute. He's like really true to art.
Yeah.
Is a little bit hipster in that way. He wants to make art.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Well, it sounds like he considers that first movie art, which we do too. And then he considers his role in the later movies like he's just doing what they're telling him to do for the franchise.
The franchise.
The franchise, for the franchise.
Not the franchise.
I wouldn't like that. I would feel like I am a part of a machine.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of people feel in their jobs all the time. I still often feel like that in my job.
I'd feel that way too. Yeah, because I've always wanted to be a real writer, and I'm just a content writer for marketing, so I relate, Rob. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. But I just deal with it.
Yeah. I know, honestly, come on, Rob. It is a bit of a privilege to be like, I want to make art. You know, it's because of Twilight that he has the opportunity to make smaller movies.
So maybe he's saying he'd rather make art or just not act at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Well, it seems like he doesn't really love acting that much.
Yeah. So at this point, he's still dating Kristen, but again, not going to talk about it too much. But December, he went to Australia to film The Rover. And this is when there were first rumors about him and Kristen breaking up, but I don't think they were true yet. Because they didn't officially break up again until May 2013. So that's where we are now. Then there were rumors about him and Katy Perry being together.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
that'd be horrible.
Yeah, I think they actually were friends and were seen out and about and stuff, but I really don't think that...
Do you think they've ever hooked up?
I don't know. That would be freaking weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't picture it.
I can't either, but they've been friends for, like, a very long time.
Yeah.
But I think that Katy would... I feel like she has a crush on Rob.
Yeah. Well, now she's with Orlando Bloom, so...
You know they're having a baby?
I do know that, yeah. Poor John Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably devastated.
Do you think he still loves Katy?
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, wow.
I think so. Okay, so at this point, Rob had a beard, and I feel like this is a trend. Like, whenever he has a breakup, he has a beard. I feel like he's a little down. But then he became the face of Dior Homme and had some beautiful black and white pictures come out and stuff, and people were really excited about this. I think he got quite a lot of money for being the face of Dior. Like, millions.
Wow.
Okay, I do not know if this is true, but this is very weird to me. Apparently in June 2013, I don't know if it's true, but I did find it in a lot of different sources that he threw a lavish 1920s Great Gatsby party
Oh my God.
for his director friend Nick Jarecki. And I looked up who Nick Drecke is, and he's just directed, like, indie films. I said, is this true? Marie Claire seems weird. I feel like Marie Claire is, like, kind of reputable.
Well, if he found it in multiple sources.
Doesn't that seem odd, though?
That he threw that party?
Yeah. I just can't picture it for some reason.
I can't. Well, we threw a party like that.
I know we did, but it's funny. He seems like kind of a party thrower.
Yeah, it seems like he had big, lavish parties at his house all the time.
Yeah.
And it seems like he would be someone who, like, just kind of stays in and doesn't really want to go out.
I picture him just on the couch with a beer.
Yeah.
So it's odd to me that he has these huge parties. And yeah, I don't think there are any pictures of it, but I think because he's really low-key, he doesn't have social media, which I 100% get why he doesn't have social media. But I couldn't find any pictures, but I read all these quotes that were like, it was the place to be. Everyone was at this party. So
wow.
I know.
I wonder if any Twilight people were there.
Apparently Kristen wasn't. People wanted to know. So then he went to Toronto for the summer. This is 2013 to film Maps to the Stars.
Which we just watched last night.
We watched it last night. It's going to come up again. I'm going to get into it.
Okay.
But, in August 2013, he told Spanish GQ, "It's strange you don't have a normal life anymore." This is about being a teen heartthrob. "You spend much time trying to fight it, but in the end, you find another way to live. People don't realize how lonely you are."
Oh,
which is sad. I know. I agree with you. I think he was down. I couldn't tell how true they were, but a lot of things were like Robert Pattinson, depression and anxiety.
Yeah, I read a lot of things that he was, like, drinking a lot in this time, too. It's, like, 2011, 2010 to, like, 2014 or so.
I do feel like in post-Kristen, it seems like things are going up, though. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. Like, we weren't there. We have no idea what's up with him, but it seems...
Or more like post-Twilight. I guess it probably isn't totally Kristen-related.
Yeah. So there were rumors that he was dating Riley Keough. I don't know how to pronounce that.
That's really shitty because that's actually Kristen's good friend.
Yeah. He's photographed in cars with her and stuff. And then there were rumors that he was dating Dylan Penn, who's Sean Penn's daughter, apparently. I think we mentioned that in the Robson episode, though. And so in September 2013, he told Harper's Bazaar, they asked, like, who his ideal woman would be. And he said, someone knowing who they are, it's the best. I guess because it's the opposite of what I am. I'm so all over the place. And then he said, if someone looks good in their clothes, it's because they are comfortable in their own skin. It's literally just like owning it. Oh no, that is so lame. I feel like I'm on Project One Way saying own that.
Someone comfortable in their clothes, just owning it. Own it, girl.
That's so cute. Oh. I was like, I feel like you told me in your research it made you, like, rob a little less. But I was experiencing the opposite. I was like, oh, this is making me like him more. October 3rd, 2013, he went to an Arctic Monkeys concert.
Oh,
I love Arctic Monkeys. With Florence Welch.
Interesting.
From Florence and the Machine. Her sister and a friend. And I wrote in my notes, so cool. That is so cool. I wish I was there. November 2013, he signed on to be in Lost City of Z. And then in December, he was out in London with his BFF Tom in Notting Hill, which is just cool to me. And then he was cast in a movie called Childhood of a Leader. And I wrote, what happened to that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I feel like nothing's happened with that, right? Did he film it? No.
I don't know. Wait. So I just did a quick IMDb search, and I guess it did come out in 2015. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Childhood of a Leader. Has anybody seen that? In February 2013, a Russian astronomer named an asteroid 246789 Pattinson. After Robert Pattinson.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. And then
I, like, didn't get what you were saying. I would too.
Yeah. A fan. And then in February, same month, he announced at the Oscars with Amanda Seyfried the Best Screenwriting category. Quentin Tarantino won. What an honor.
Yeah.
What an honor to, I
Receive
will say,
an
like,
award from...
Kristen's never presented at the Oscars.
Yes, she has.
What did she present?
She presented once and she coughed and everyone like made a big
Oh.
deal of it. And she also presented, I don't know if it was the same
Are
time.
you sure?
She had broke her leg and she had a boot on her foot. Yeah, I'm 100% sure she's presented at the Oscars. I'm pretty sure it was like, and the Oscar goes to, and she like coughed.
Oh my God, Kristen.
People were pissed about it.
Yeah, I would be too, actually. Okay, then he's filming the movie Life in Toronto, which I haven't seen, but he plays a photographer. The photographer that took those really famous Life magazine pictures of James Dean. Never seen it. In May 2013, he was at Cannes to promote Maps to the Stars. And, premiered there or whatever.
Yeah.
And, okay, so Mal and I watched this movie last night, and it was quite a trip.
I wasn't expecting it at all. But we have to say, Rob was not in it that much. His role was
a minor character.
Not that significant to the movie. It almost was a little bit distracting, his role, because you expected more from it.
Yeah. He wasn't the star, but I really enjoyed it. It was about, actors in Hollywood, and it was really a scathing portrayal of Hollywood, and made everybody look horrible. And it was a Cronenberg movie too.
Yeah. I feel like Hollywood doesn't always really like movies like that that make Hollywood look bad. They feel like they
shouldn't.
Don't give those kind of movies the awards. They always give it to like the La La Lands or the...
Well, I get why.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was super
Me
crazy.
too.
And it was the kind of movie where you are figuring things out as it goes along, like the connections between people, and doesn't really tell you. And I like that.
Yeah, I like it too.
So, in that movie, if you guys haven't seen it, we hadn't seen it till yesterday, there's this kid, he's like 13, and he's an actor, and he's such a brat. Like, he's horrible. Total punk. Like, he's on drugs. He talks so shitty about people. He shoots someone's dog. Like, he's just awful. And he was interviewed by Vanity Fair, and they kind of asked him, like, how true is the movie to real life, like Hollywood and stuff. And he said, I think Benji is probably, that was the kid's name.
Rob said this?
Yeah, Rob said this. Benji was the 13-year-old character who was like kind of a Justin Bieber-esque kid. He said, I think Benji is probably the truest character. I've met a lot of kids like him.
Wow.
The scene with him and the little girls bitching about everybody, you just see that a lot. He said, when you see these kids, there's only one way. You either get in therapy now or become a serial killer or kill yourself. You can see it really early on. It's terrifying.
Oh my God. That is so crazy.
But yeah,
but not hard to believe either.
I know. I believe it 100%. And in the movie, this kid's like at a bar or something with these girls, and they're talking about how someone's menopausal because she's 23, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. I feel like if you're raised in that culture, that's all you know. It'd be so easy to be like that.
We couldn't tell how old that character was supposed to be. I was like, maybe 15.
Yeah, I thought that was like on the younger side.
But he did look so young.
Yeah.
He looked 12 or something, and then turns out he was 13. So I guess I can see why 23 would seem old to a 13-year-old, but shut up.
That's crazy. If I was famous, I would want to, I don't think I could even be in that culture. I don't think I could even be in situations where people were dicks like that.
Yeah, what would you do?
I honestly
just, punch everybody?
Would start crying.
Yeah. I don't know how I would handle myself.
I can't believe he's talking like that. It's so
know.
mean. I would literally start sobbing or something.
I know. They were so mean.
Yeah. But I at the same time bet that there's a lot of famous people who are very, very nice and down to earth.
Hopefully, Rob.
Hopefully.
I know. I bet there is nice people too. She's playing herself, but Carrie Fisher seemed pretty nice in that.
She seemed really nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently Meryl Streep is really nice.
Okay.
She's family friends with the girl I know.
Yeah. I bet there's some good people. Hopefully. So then he was seen with some girl named Imogen. I never know how to say his name. I'm sorry. Imogen Kerr.
Imogen, yeah.
Imogen Kerr. a model. I don't know. Maybe they were just friends or something, but he was just seen with her.
But at the same time, why would they just be friends?
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, I remember Camille Bell. I remember being like, maybe they're just friends. And I honestly feel like that could have been publicity, them just, like, walking in the streets together. But why would they just be friends? I'm sure they were on a date or something.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but maybe they were,
casually seeing each other, yeah.
Or maybe it was a first date, or who knows.
Yeah.
In May 2014, this is random, but he was seen leaving the Chiltern Firehouse with his friends, and that's in London. And that when I read that, I freaked out because that was so close to my school in London. Like, I know the Chiltern Firehouse, so I was like, what the hell? I could have seen Robert Pattinson there if he so happened to be there in 2017. 2016. Cool. June 2014, he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was just saying weird stuff. You know, as he does.
Yeah.
He was talking about being homeless, or kind of joking about not living anywhere and not knowing where any of his stuff is. Mm-hmm. And he was joking about looking for his Teen Choice Award surfboards the other day. And he was like, I've just been informed that I have way less than I thought I did. I was like, I have like 30, right? No, you have 3. Yeah.
He thought he had 30 surfboards?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have 3. That's fun. Why did he need it?
I don't know. I think he was just joking. I don't know. But
can you surf with those?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
What do celebrities do with those Teen Choice Awards?
I know,
surfboards?
they're huge.
They're
It
so
must be
big.
like junk.
Yeah.
It doesn't match anything.
Yeah.
Probably just in your garage.
Maybe you have a room with like random stuff like that.
Yeah. They must get so much crap.
Yeah.
Like so much.
I
I can't even imagine.
I bet, because even when they like go on Ellen and they get like an Ellen sweatshirt, and it's like, what am I gonna do with this?
Sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Probably just give it to people.
Yeah.
So the Rover premiered. There were talks of him playing Indiana Jones, but that never happened.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Weird. It's funny when you look back through the news and you see things like that. Salon, some publication, asked him why he always plays an American. And he said, I don't know, I've never really thought of it actually I've never thought of it as actually specifically playing an American. I guess there are little elements of it, like, no, you kind of approach it the same way. I mean, I feel extremely uncomfortable playing English people, though. Even if I'm doing an English accent, I don't even know how to do my normal accent. It just suddenly goes into this weird acting voice. And so I get incredibly self-conscious about it. So when I'm doing an American, it feels more like you're in a movie.
That makes sense.
Interesting. July 2014, he was seen, and there's pictures of it too, hanging with Zac Efron at like a bowling alley. That just seemed so random to me. Okay.
Who was like his famous friend? Is it Katy Perry?
I think so. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Tom's definitely still his best friend, which I think is really cute.
Yeah. Tom's not that famous, though.
No. I don't know. He's hung out with a bunch of random people, but I'm not sure how good of friends they are. He was asked by Esquire about the Kristen Stewart cheating scandal thing, and he said, shit happens, you know? It's just young people. It's normal, and honestly, who gives a shit? Mel quoted that to me a couple months ago.
I always think about that quote whenever I have any drama in my love life.
Yeah,
it's just young people.
Yeah, that actually really made me feel better.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I don't know what I'm going to tell myself when I'm older. Maybe I'll still just say that. It's just young people.
It's just people. It's just people.
Yeah.
And same thing, still talking about the scandal. Rob said, the hardest part was talking about it afterwards, because when you talk about other people, it affects them in ways you can't predict. It's like that scene in Doubt where he's talking about how to take back gossip. They throw all those feathers from a pillow into the sky, and you've got to go and collect all the feathers.
Aww.
I haven't seen Doubt, so I don't know what he's
either.
talking about, but I think he's talking about Kristen.
It's really sweet because it sounds like he really just, like, people were asking about it, and he never really wanted to say anything negative about Kristen.
Yeah, because it would affect her.
Yeah.
It's true. So, by August 2014, we had the first reports about him dating FK Twigs. Real name Talia Barnett. But apparently, and this comes up later, apparently he calls her Twigs.
Really? Oh, that's cute.
Or at least called
Yeah.
her Twigs.
It's cute, but also
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Kinda. I mean, she went by Twigs for a really long time, and that's why her name is FK Twigs, because
That was her nickname already.
it was her name, but there was another artist out there already called Twigs, so that's why she changed it to formerly known as Twigs. So, yeah.
I've heard her say that it doesn't stand for formerly known as.
Oh, I thought it did.
And she has said it's just random letters. But I feel like that wouldn't make any
I
sense.
don't think that's true. What? They're just random
Yeah.
letters?
I feel like that wouldn't make any sense. Formerly known as.
I remember, like, before she dated Rob, reading that about, because it was just on Pitchfork or something, about the other artist being called Twigs. And so
Okay,
she
yeah.
had to, like, change it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Apparently, Rob did the ice bucket challenge, which I found very weird.
I saw that. Yeah, Kristen did it too.
No, I can't picture that. All right.
I didn't even do it. I was nominated.
I didn't do
I was
it.
like, I'm not doing this.
It seems too mainstream for Rob.
Yeah.
In September 2014, Maps to the Stars came out, which we just watched. 6 years late, there were a bunch of racist tweets against FK Twigs,
Yeah.
which we talked about in the Robson episode, I'm pretty sure. Why did we talk about that?
Because I think we just talked about his, like, relationships after.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
I think we talked about
Well,
Kristen's too, right?
Yeah, and I feel like it also, because a lot of the racist tweets came from people who really shipped Robson and couldn't let
Yeah.
it go, and so they were, like, taking that out on
Yeah.
FKA Twigs.
So I won't get too into it because I feel like we talked about it, but it was horrible.
Yeah.
And those people should be ashamed of themselves. I feel like him and FK Twigs were really happy together. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't part of it, but they always were really smiley in pictures together, and they dressed so hip.
Yeah.
I think I said this last time, but they're the most hip couple I've ever seen. And there are pictures of him grabbing her butt, which he did to Kristen too.
But her last album made it seem like they weren't that happy together.
Well, yeah, I don't know how long the happiness lasted. I would definitely say in the beginning they looked really happy. I mean, every relationship starts out like that. Then, she said that the positivity that she gets from her relationship makes it worth it. It being the hate and everything, which sounded really sweet. I guess he was a really positive for her career and stuff like that.
Yeah.
According to her back then, in 2014. He bought a modest 2-bed, 2-bath in the Hollywood Hills, and it's really cute. I have pictures of it on here. It's kind of got that Spanish style to it, which is, I don't know why. It's interesting to picture Rob living in a house like that, but it's really adorable, and yeah, it's not that big, so
That's cute.
that's cool. And then there was also an article about him looking at, this was around the same time, so I don't know why he was getting so much real estate, but that he was looking at an apartment in Brooklyn in Vinegar Hill, but I don't know if he actually bought it,
Yeah.
but it looked cool. Okay, in November 2014, I don't know why, maybe you know why, but articles didn't seem to know why, he had a really wacky haircut. Like, the front looked normal, but the back was completely shaved, except for a little rectangle.
I don't know why.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it. I don't know
Let me
why.
picture over here.
Was
It's
it for a photo shoot or
so
something?
Weird. I don't know.
I
I don't know if he was just trying to be a weirdo.
Was it for a movie?
I don't think it was for a movie.
I don't know.
There's literally a
I'm
rectangle
sure someone
on the
knows
back.
why.
Everybody was so perplexed.
Yeah.
It looked horrible.
Don't
It was
know
like a
why.
mushroom.
That's so funny too that both him and Kristen have had interesting haircuts and styles since
Yeah.
their Twilight days.
In 2015, he had the movies Queen of the Desert, which also stars Nicole Kidman and James Franco. I never really heard anything about that movie.
Yeah.
And Life, which I talked about earlier. There were rumors in articles about Rob giving FK Twigs a promise ring. I don't know. That might not be real. But it showed up in a lot of places. And now I have this interview. Gosh, I don't know what it's from. I just copy-pasted it into a Word document. I don't know. But this is in 2015. Okay. This is about Maps of the Stars. This is Cronenberg, actually. So it really doesn't have anything to do with Rob. I was just telling Mel this, that because the movie's about Hollywood, and the person said, I'm sure you've had plenty of bizarre experiences in Hollywood that helped feed this through evisceration. And he said, I've taken meetings in Hollywood with studio execs that are beyond anything that's in this movie as far as absurdity or surreal black comedy, so I know that's all true. I don't think of it as satire, we think of it as a docudrama. Which is interesting. But it's not really about Rob, so I'll skip this. April 2015, Rob and FKA Twigs were engaged. Became engaged.
Sweet.
It's interesting to picture.
Yeah, like, do you think he got down on one knee?
I wonder. Like, Rob was gonna get married.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
But you probably already know that. Or maybe you don't. I don't
I
know.
remember feeling, like, kind of indifferent about it, but also kind of sad because I still wanted him with Kristen.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking. Like, whoa, Rob's gonna marry someone else.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he still is probably going to get married to someone else someday.
Yeah. I don't think him and Kristen are gonna get married.
Do you think him and FKA Twigs could get back together?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know. Seems unlikely the more time goes on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just move on.
Yeah.
Don't text your ex. And then I guess he was at Coachella with, I'm just going to call her Twigs, with Twigs, and was dancing really poorly to Drake.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep. He signed on to Good Time, July 2015. FK Twigs said she hadn't seen Twilight in a magazine.
That's interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
But don't you think it would be hard for her to then see the movie when it's like him and his ex kissing and stuff?
Oh, that would be
I would not want to watch that.
I'd be violently shaking and crying.
Yeah. Especially the first one, because, like, the chemistry is so strong.
I know. I don't think I could. And especially if she hadn't seen it then, I doubt she's seen it now.
No.
Like, how could you watch it after?
But it's kind of sad she has to miss out on that, you know?
I know. I wonder if she's at least read the books.
I know.
Yeah, no Twilight in her life. That's sad.
It's sad.
In September 2015, there were the first reports that they're no longer engaged, but I don't think that was true yet. I don't know, but he had a huge beard again.
That's telling.
I don't know. So maybe things were not going well, but that definitely, I don't think that was true, because then they were still together. In November, they were in London, out and about. More ads for Dear. Not much really happened in 2016. It's interesting. He laid really low. Like, I was doing the thing. I was doing the thing where I looked at each month in news. Like, like September to October, October to November. Like, doing everything. And there was really not much about Rob in 2016. He shot a short film for Dior, and The Lost City of Z came out.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I haven't seen it. I should see it. Soko the cat said that she dated Rob back in the day when she dated Kristen Stewart too. So this is when she comes out and randomly brings that up for some
Wait, when
reason.
did she date Rob?
I don't know. I don't know when. I think maybe before Twilight.
So he has had short relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they dated.
Yeah, like just like went
might have
on a
been-
few dates.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rob and FK Twigs were at the Met Gala looking really cool. Oh yeah, the Childhood of a Leader movie came out, whatever that is. Lost City of Z premiere. And at that premiere, he told People magazine, I still feel like I'm 22, maybe even 14.
Oh.
When asked directly about his wedding, the actor feigned confusion. Planning what now? Like, why did he react that way? I know that's his thing, that he's really private and stuff, but it was kind of odd.
But even on Howard Stern, when asked about if he was engaged, he said kind of.
Yeah, I don't get it. He acted really, ambivalent. Reluctant.
Yeah.
As if he didn't really want to, but I'm guessing you're the one that proposed.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Who knows? Well, sometimes women propose, but...
Maybe he was scared because of the reaction that FKA Twigs got, all the hatred, that, like, if he was open about it, it would just fuel the fire even more.
Yeah.
But that's no way to live, really. That's really sad.
It's too bad. I wonder how she felt about it. Maybe she wanted him to not talk about it, but I feel like I would want my fiance to be like, yeah.
His relationships are so private. It's so really weird. I can understand. I feel like he was affected more by all of the fame than Kristen was.
Yeah. Because Kristen loves to talk about her relationships.
Now, yeah. Even her
flaunts it.
Past relationships.
Yep. Interesting. Interesting that way.
Yeah.
Then here in 2016, this was the first reports that the movie High Life was getting financing. So it was starting, and he was excited about that director. Things are, I feel, really going up for Rob right now, as for like the movies he's in are getting really good reviews and stuff. There were possibly weird vibes between him and Charlie Hunman, the guy in Lost City of Z.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it's just rumors, but I saw a bunch of articles about them, like, not talking to each other. Like, I don't know. But
I can't even picture him, like, being in a feud with someone.
I know. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's total garbage, but...
Yeah.
The Good Time trailer came out in 2017. I know this is like really minuscule, but people were really excited about it. They're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And he was interviewed by New York Times at Cannes, and he said, he's talking about franchises again, and he said, I think one of the best things, basically, about being a bit of a sellout is if you've done 5 movies in a series, you've had to accept some responsibility for playing the same character. He didn't sound regretful, just matter of fact. Working on the Twilight movies, he said, was an amazing luxury, and it was amazing luck as well to just have fallen into it with a group of people who I worked with. And he said, I didn't have to kiss anybody's rear end the entire time, he said. I don't think I did anyway. He says he's always terrible in every take. I can't say that about anyone I've worked with, he says. I've never seen anyone give themselves such a hard time. I'm beating myself up afterward, and I think there's some weird perverted energy that comes out of when people criticize previous works. I think you represent this certain thing. It gives you this energy. Interesting.
Very interesting. It sounds like at this point, though, he's not really as regretful about Twilight, or he doesn't look back on it too negatively.
He's coming out of it.
Yeah.
He's coming out.
And I feel like that's very common for people, like, when they're in the height of something, they really want to put it behind them, but then once it is behind them, they start to embrace it more.
Everything's always better once you're further away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Miley is now like, Hannah Montana. Yeah. But she used to be like, fuck that.
Hannah Montana. Remember? Yeah. So, I have large chunks of this GQ interview from September 2017. But I just thought it was really telling about Robert Pattinson's personality.
Tell us.
So, can I read it? Yeah, I mean, because I was really trying to figure out, like, who is Robert Pattinson? And it's all these things like, oh, the High Life trailer came out. Like, that doesn't really tell you anything. But, I mean, we're doing the timeline of his life, too. So, he stares at the iced coffee he ordered. He used to drink 1 million cups a day, but lately, since he turned 31, he finds that it's making him crazy. Yeah, he says, if I have a little bit too much, I'll suddenly think the trap door in the bottom of my life is falling. Wow.
That's how I feel when I drink coffee.
That's pretty deep. Plus, too much coffee is like truth serum for him. Hey, what if we did truth serum? But he still loves coffee. So far he's had maybe 1.5 fingers of a regular-sized cup. I don't really get what they meant by that.
Yeah.
He puts his fist up to his heart. I already feel like I've had speedball. He lets out kind of cackling laugh after he says this, head back, laughing upward. But it comes out almost like a moon howl. He laughs like this after almost everything he says, which is an intense way to communicate. When he talks, he tugs on the chest hair near his clavicle so that the bits of skin attached to each follicle pull up and form a miniature mountain range. We sit perpendicular to each other, and he keeps on his helmet-laying sunglasses. Sometimes he looks at me, but mostly he looks at his scramble and his dog, Solo, whom he brought along. He shares the dog with his romantic partner, the experimental British musician F.K. Twigs, and who has a mohawk. You could watch The Rover, a brutal Australian-made post-apocalyptic heist revenge tale, without realizing until the credits roll that you've been watching Rob Pattinson the whole time. Yeah, he asks happily when I say this to him. He loves that. Hearing that is the best thing he could hear. What he is trying to say is, no offense, I'm jumping around, by the way. Yeah. I'm skipping things. What he's trying to say is, no offense to me personally, of course. He would rather not be here. It's technically part of my job, but I've never been very good at it, he says, in any way. I've never been that concerned if someone sees the movie, which he knows you're not supposed to say aloud and maybe doesn't entirely mean, but there you go. His eyes briefly shift towards me with suspicion. He's sure this is what I'm after, something incendiary, maybe even something about his ex-girlfriend or something about Twigs. He only accidentally lets me know that he calls her that, Twigs, twice, once in relation to who named the dog they both own, and also in relation to the ugliness they both experienced when their relationship became public and people on Twitter spewed racist garbage about her. In fact, Pattinson tells me he went to therapy a few years ago during a low time, and the therapist often remarked how good he was at talking without saying anything. I highlighted that and made it like size 32 font. Talking without saying anything. Because he does that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that he would do that even in therapy.
It's interesting that he went to therapy.
I know.
I mean, I feel like therapy is so good. Everyone should go. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But it does kind of also line up with us saying, like, this seems like it was a dark time in his life. And if that was a few years ago, it must have been around that time.
It's kind of sad. There must be something really going on if he's even in therapy, like, babbling on and not saying anything of truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Him not wanting to open up to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He seems like such a goofy guy, but it does seem like he has some demons.
I think so.
And some pain.
So it continues and it says, now he applies this skill whenever he's forced to hang out with people like me. If I could stay silent, he says, I would. I try again for even one iota of intimate conversation, but he just asks, this really reminds me of Ryder, your friend.
He reminds me so much. Guys, Rob reminds me so much of my friend Ryder. Ryder, if you're listening, this is such a compliment.
But he just asks me why he would ever try. So I think back in all the interviews I've done, and I tell him very honestly that I think it's because people want to be heard. He said, why would I even try to have an intimate conversation, basically. Most of us, even the most famous of us, sometimes especially the most famous of us, want to be understood. I don't, he says. I want to be misunderstood. People are always changing, and the more you put something down in print, people form opinions, and they're constantly creating who they think you are. If you do something that contradicts that, or if you do something which goes out of that box, then you can look like a liar or something like that. I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are always changing. All people, I think, are full of contradictions, so it can get, like, once something's in print or whatever, seeming like a hypocrite, or... Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he ever... I mean, I know he was on Howard Stern, which is, like, famous for people, like, really opening up. And he does seem pretty authentic in that interview to an extent. But I feel like he never gives an interview where he just, like, bears his soul.
Yeah.
But Kristen, it seems way more likely to... And I don't mean to keep comparing it, Kristen versus Rob. They're two separate people. But it's interesting to see, like... how similar they were at once, and then the trajectory of their life and career, and like the differences and similarities between them.
I don't think he's being inauthentic. He's being
like,
closed
not
off, showing anything.
Yeah. He's just joking.
I think he's a really private guy. Yeah, and it probably just doesn't want to be held to anything he says. So. It continues. Not this, but his life. October 11th, there are reports that him and FK Twigs have split. Sad.
Yeah.
Good Time comes out. Later, he's seen leaving Chateau Marmont with a blonde girl. Who knows? Maybe a friend. I don't know who that was. Then he's filming the movie Damsel, which is an Old West comedy with Mia Wasikowska. Did I say that correctly? You know that girl? She was in Maps to the Stars. And so they're working again together. There were pictures of him running around shirtless, quote, ripped now, as people said in the articles. And it was weird to see.
Yeah.
You don't usually see Rob jogging shirtless. Like, I don't know. It's odd. Then, spring 2018, he was living in Nova Scotia to film The Lighthouse. End of July 2018... These are the first reports he's dating Suki Waterhouse, and there's pictures of them on the street, like, laughing and whatever. Okay, so now FK Twigs is dating Shia LaBeouf, which I think is crazy, because he dated Mia Wasikowska. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
And he also dated Mia Goth, who was in High Life with Rob.
Interesting.
And later, Rob works with those two women again, and it seems like these two Mias are becoming his, like, creative partners.
Yeah.
Almost like they keep working together.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but there's such a triangle thing going on here.
That is so interesting.
Everybody's so connected. Is there any way to connect those people to Kristen, too?
Well, Kristen recently just did an actor-on-actor thing with Shia LaBeouf.
Wow. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Like, they all know each other. It's almost like high school.
I also think that, I might be wrong, but Suki Waterhouse is friends with Stella Maxwell.
It's literally like high school in a small town. They just all date each other.
Yeah, that is so weird.
So, Lighthouse wraps filming. He's out with Suki a lot, laughing and stuff. He's cast in The Devil All the Time. That's the movie with both the Mias, Mia Goth and Mia Wasikowska or whatever. That's his group. He was kind of made fun of, but I think he actually looked cool wearing this Jedi-like outfit at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
January 2019. May 2019, he lands the Batman role. Everyone freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to find it, but do you remember that really funny video of this guy jumping into a pool, and he's like, Rob Pattinson is Batman! Woo! And he jumps in the pool.
No, I don't remember that.
Just some random guy.
Let's go, baby. Robert Pattinson confirmed for Batman. I'm Batman.
I was really happy about it, but most people were upset about it.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like, don't know.
Sparkly?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, Rob Pattinson sparkles.
Yeah, people, like, don't know that he's had a whole career since Twilight.
I know. But then there were a lot of think piece. They were like, why Rob Pattinson?
I just wrote a think piece. Or I just read a think piece.
Why Rob Pattinson will be a great Batman.
Yeah. Why Robert Pattinson proves that he will be the best Batman ever.
I know. It was like such
Don't write Robert Pattinson off yet.
Yeah. Comparing every Batman.
Forgive Robert Pattinson for his Twilight sins.
10 times Robert Pattinson was actually great.
Yeah.
Okay. October 2019, The Lighthouse came out. We're getting really close to present day now.
Yeah.
Catching up. Mel and I saw The Lighthouse.
Yes.
The King comes out with Timothée Chalamet. Mel and I also watched that.
Yeah.
We're part of this now.
We're real fans.
He did that Jennifer Lopez actors on actors thing, and he just mentioned this Twilight. He said, I mean, it's a weird story, Twilight. It's strange how people responded. I guess the books, they're very romantic, but at the same time, it's not like The Notebook romantic. Twilight is about a guy who finds one girl he wants to be with and also wants to eat her. Well, not eat, drink her blood or whatever. I thought it was a strange story. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I agree with him. That's what I love about Twilight, though.
Well, I feel like he said in other interviews, I think in the, you know, those like W magazine things where they like just talk to the camera. He says like Twilight's a really real strange story, but people don't realize that because it became so big.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's attracted to really strange stories.
Yeah, I know. I think he's into it now. I think when he signed on for the first movie, I think he recognized that and thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, oh, this is
But when it
pretty
became a
odd.
franchise,
Yeah.
it really killed it for him.
Yeah. The Batman suit was revealed. According to science, most handsome man in the world. The I'm Your Man Dior video came
We
out.
watched that 500 times.
And now I'm just like recalling the past few months. He's going to be in the movie Tenet, Christopher Nolan movie. He told the LA Times, here's just another quote. Oh, this is the end of actually, I have just 3 quotes from him to the LA Times, which I just thought spoke to his personality. And I never want to do something for an audience, ever. I think it's literally disgusting. He bursts out laughing at the force of his disdain. It's just so disrespectful to people. I made this for you. He continues on a roll. You don't know me. How can you know what I want? And it also indoctrinates the audience into thinking that they somehow are special because someone said, I made it for you. They didn't make it for you. They made it for money. Everyone should be making things for themselves. If no one likes it, you just have to do it more and put it out more places. And eventually someone will like it. It has to work eventually. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I like that. I've always agreed with that. I don't know. I feel like you can tell when people are making things to please other people.
Yeah.
I always loved Babe singer Lana Del Rey. Always said that she makes music just that
For
she
herself,
likes.
yeah.
And F what people think. And I think things come out the best when you do that.
Yeah.
So
Agree.
that's what I feel like Stephanie Meyer did. I mean, it's a crazy story, but I don't think she wrote it like
For anybody else.
anyone.
But I think that's also her demise with like not publishing Midnight Sun and stuff like that is because she's too
Oh yeah,
maybe
yeah.
caught up in what people think.
She should publish that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that actually is kind of true to it, because if she would publish Midnight Sun just because people want it, like for the fans.
True, that is true.
But she doesn't really care about that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's against her moral code or whatever for some reason. I don't know.
But don't you think that that's why she wrote Life and Death? It's like,
Not really, because no one asked for that.
no, but I feel like she did it to combat like the criticism of like gender norms and
I
stuff
guess so, yeah. That's true.
in the series. You think Bella's weak? I'll make her a guy.
Wait, what? Yeah, so present day, we have Rob, you know, he's...
Is he
Doing
still
well.
dating Suki Waterhouse?
I think so.
Do you think they're quarantined together?
I have no idea.
It is interesting.
Maybe.
His relationships are so private. I feel like he's been asked about her like a few times in interviews and will say like, do I have to talk about it? And then like goes on with his spiel about how he doesn't talk about relationships. She never has posted anything with Rob.
I know.
Ever.
That's
Like,
crazy.
It's so weird.
It is
And she
weird.
posts a lot. She posts like a lot online.
I would... if I was dating Robert Pattinson, how would I not post a picture of him
I know. Like ever.
in bed?
Do you think he has said like, don't post pictures of me?
Probably. Yeah. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who
I
is he
don't
doing
get-
it for? Is he trying to protect her or himself?
I don't know. Maybe both.
It's sad. It's like he's scarred.
Scarred for life. I know Kristen has like a private secret Instagram. I wonder if he does or just not at all.
Yeah. Probably,
I mean, we've never heard of it, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Robert Pattinson.
And Kristen isn't hers. Like so many people know about it at this point. She should really change the username and change the picture.
Yeah, she should.
Oh, now people are gonna ask us what it is.
We don't know. We don't know. We just know that you should change the name. of it.
Don't even bother asking us because she's not gonna let you
Yeah.
follow her, and so it won't lead to anything.
Yeah. It's just.
And we don't follow her either, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's gonna make a difference.
Yeah. It's funny. Any lasting thoughts about Robert Pattinson?
I just want to clarify. I don't think my research made me like him less. I just feel somewhat like guilty, even like obsessing over him, because it seems like that's like not really what he wants in a way.
Yeah. That's how we felt with the Robson episode too.
Yeah, but at the same time, so he comes off really goofy and silly, and I feel like he is like that's so much of his
Yeah.
personality. But like I said, like it seems like he is kind of a sad character in a way, and I never really thought about that before.
A lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
I think he is tortured.
But I feel like he's not really vulnerable at all. I don't think he'd ever really open up to people about it.
We don't know how he acts in his personal life, though. Like, maybe he does in his personal life, but he does seem closed off.
Yeah. No, I'm just comparing him to Ryder.
I know. Ryder isn't Robert Pattinson. I don't know. I wonder what his personality type is. I don't know.
Doesn't seem like, well, I mean, at the same time, like, I feel like that's the things that we've heard from people who have met Rob, is that he's very aloof.
Yeah.
Not very
a little
engaged.
standoffish.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, though, because he's not the type of person, I don't think, that walks in a room and is like, hey, and is like cracking jokes and whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But then it is interesting that he's throwing these big lavish parties. Like, I think last year he had a big, like, 34th birthday party, which is weird. Like,
Yeah,
why
he
was
always
one
has big parties.
Yeah, for himself. Or do you think, like, Suki Waterhouse is throwing the party, or do you think he's just throwing it himself?
I don't know. I wish I could ask him.
I don't think she lives in Los Angeles.
I
might be
find it
wrong.
odd that Rob... I don't know what Rob really thinks about LA. He seems to not really like it, but also love it at the same time. I don't know.
Apparently, that is why he doesn't have his dogs from his relationship with Kristen anymore, is because he doesn't live in LA as often. Is what people think, is that's why Kristen got those dogs.
Yeah. I wonder what happened with him and FK Twig's dogs. Dude, why do you keep getting dogs with girlfriends?
I know.
Maybe
Don't get a
stop
dog unless you're
doing that.
married.
Yeah. Or just have your own
Sad.
dog.
I feel like when you share a dog with someone, you really can't, like, split custody.
What's with these? Like, is it just because they're celebrities? Why does he keep living with his girlfriends, too? I mean, I know a lot of people do that, but it seems like he lives with people right away.
Yeah, well, he lived with that
Kinda.
Nina girl. Very serious relationship. I think they might still be friends to this day.
Whoa. What if he got back with her?
Oh my god, that would be kind of cute, actually. Like, his first
It
love.
would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder what will happen.
I don't know if him and Suki Waterhouse are living together. A lot of people thought that that relationship was a rebound at first and wasn't going to really last, but it's like stood the test of time.
It's been a long time.
I think they seem like the perfect couple, to be honest. They both seem like they have very similar personalities. She seems very silly online. She's also very
Yeah.
beautiful, and she's also, like, into music,
Yeah.
but also acts and models, just like him.
I wonder what went wrong with FK Twigs. I mean, I don't know. People were saying that they were distant or whatever, but I don't know.
I feel like it seems like based off her album, there was a lot of negativity in the relationship, and some of it was like from the exterior factors of all the hate she received.
That's horrible.
Like in the song Cellophane, which seems like it's really about him, like she says, they're waiting to see if I'm not enough. They're waiting and they're hating to see if I'm not enough. And it seems like he kind of like just like let her
What was
Let
he
her
supposed
go.
to do, though?
No, like let her go. Like
Oh.
he wasn't emotionally present, it seems.
I don't get, if you didn't have social media, though, and you weren't really Googling yourself, like, how would you even, how much would that permeate your real life?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Rob's real life or
Both of them.
yeah. Well, she does have social media, FK Twigs.
I would just quit if I was her. I know musicians often kind of
Need it
need
to like
it,
share.
maybe, I
Yeah.
don't know, but I mean, you could turn comments off. I don't know. I do think social media makes it way crazier. I mean, I was just saying this to you like 2 days ago that like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, a celebrity would never have to deal with that. Like listen to people every day or
Yeah.
like see people's reactions or like get tons of messages. You would just live your life and yeah, you do your press things. Maybe you had like a fan mail box or something, but that's it.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually hearing from a mob of people. So it's just not natural.
But don't you think, I feel like Rob may have said it before, is even if it's not, if you're ignoring it, just knowing that it's still there is hard to ignore completely.
How would they know? Were people just telling them?
Yeah, people just telling them, or if you like see it every now and then, or like I'm sure like sometimes there's moments where you just like Google things. Like people are only human. How can you help it?
It just sucks that would affect their relationship that much.
Well, who knows if that was really the reason? But her album, I'm trying to think of like lyrics that she had that seemed like they were very obviously like she has said it was about the end of her relationship, and I'm assuming it was Rob.
How do we know she isn't playing that up?
She doesn't seem like someone who would.
I guess. I don't really know what she's like.
It seems like, well, I feel like she moved out of his house apparently, but it seems like he was the heartbreaker in that situation.
Yeah. He didn't seem, I think in the beginning they seemed really happy, but just the way he would talk about being engaged, it was so odd. He didn't seem into it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe he rushed into it a little bit.
All of his girlfriends have been so cool though. I feel like there's
They are
not one
cool.
that I think like is not good enough for him. I mean,
Yeah.
who would I be to say? But like, I feel like he
Yeah,
would be
they're-
lucky to be with any of them.
They're really hip. Cool. I approve. He has good taste.
He does.
Rob.
That's pretty much it. That's Robert Pattinson, his life, his career.
Whoa.
I hope you guys like this episode.
What an interesting guy.
We just tried to phone him again. It's still busy, so he's probably still going on and on.
Well, you know, he hates press.
He hates press, yeah. Well, he's the one who wanted to be on the show. We were like, I don't know, like we might do something else, but he was insistent. So I guess he is like changing a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out.
And he is like coming around to Twilight. He really loves it now. Or at least if he doesn't love it, he loves our podcast. So different entity, I guess.
Yeah. And wanted to say 2 things. First, we received some amazing New Moon stickers from our listener, Brittany. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. With mine. We split them.
Yeah.
And she gave us other stickers too,
Yeah.
which was really cool.
So sweet.
And then, okay, we received in the mail a Twilight board game, and we did not know who it was from. It was so mysterious.
Such a sweet surprise.
But we do now know who it was from.
Yeah, it's from our friend Mary, friend of the podcast. It was so sweet. We had a wine night the other night. We played it, and it was so much fun. It probably would be more fun with a big group of people, because some of them were like, the player to your left, the player to your right.
Like us too.
We also know each other a little bit too well for some of the questions. But it was really fun.
It was.
Kelly won.
Uh-huh.
I was winning for most of the game, but
got stuck on
I got
the
stuck.
fight scene, I think.
Yeah. And then I had to roll a certain number, and I kept not rolling it. I got a trivia question wrong, too, even though the trivia was pretty easy.
Yeah, well, the way it was worded was a little confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing is we had the opportunity to wish our listener Morgan a very happy birthday last week, her birthday. We called her and we had a really fun conversation. We played a fun game. We had a few technical difficulties, so we hope the audio sounds okay. But we thought we would share it with you guys.
Yeah, so this is us calling Morgan, and here it is.
Hi, Morgan.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm sorry for this mess.
No, we're sorry. It's Kelly, by the way.
Yeah, and Melissa.
Hey, guys.
Hi. No, don't be sorry. This happens all the time. We always have technical difficulties.
Oh, I just
Oh, my gosh. I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. I was like, I am fumbling something.
Oh, no, I'm really nervous right now. So.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know. I get nervous talking to people. Actually, I get nervous just recording with Mel.
Yeah, me too. We always, I don't know if you've realized, we usually drink in our episodes.
Yeah.
We have to loosen up.
Oh, my gosh. I can imagine.
Yeah, it's once we hit record, kind of freeze, but then it gets better.
Yeah.
But anyway, Happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, guys.
Is your birthday?
Appreciate it.
So your birthday is this weekend?
Yes, this Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I imagine this is a tough time to have a birthday.
Quarantine birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you can have an awesome day anyway, somehow.
Oh, thanks.
Oh.
I mean, this kind of just makes up for it completely.
No way.
No way. I don't have to sit there awkwardly as like people are singing happy birthday.
Oh, I know. I
We can
never
just
know it.
Chat about something awesome.
That's true. That's true. Oh, that was my cat. Well, I'm sorry we can't do a video chat. But didn't want to. I don't know how long it would take to figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we're just gonna ask some questions, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to our show, first of all. And thank you for the script. Oh my God.
Do you guys find anything fun in there?
Well, actually, we are planning on like reading it. We haven't done it yet, but just like sitting down and reading the whole thing through
And reenacting it.
But yeah, I feel like some parts were a little different than the final movie. I can't remember anymore, but I was like, that's not the line. Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like we could do an episode on it.
Do you have a copy of it?
Do a breakdown of it.
Yeah. I was just reading. Yeah, thank you so much. It's right here on our coffee table. It's like on display.
Oh. No, of course. You guys kept going like, I wish I knew what was in the script. And I was like, all right. That's it.
Do you have a copy of it yourself?
I don't.
What?
I was just on, online. I found it, and I was like, all right, let me just give them this.
Oh.
They'll tell me if anything's different. I'm already looking at typos between versions of my own books.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, okay, actually, they're my husband's books.
Oh my gosh.
He's a secret huge fan.
I love it.
He has like a little set, and then the one with all the original covers, and then the one with like the movie cover on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I popped open the movie cover one, and I found a typo in it, and I was like looking through the other book, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a whole day.
Really?
Oh my gosh, you would think that one would have less typos since it's a newer version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had the time to flesh it out.
That's interesting. I've definitely seen a typo before, but I can't remember what it was anymore.
I don't know if I have. I mean, every single book, no matter what it is probably going to have a typo.
That's true.
So we wanted to ask you,
This is just so cute.
when did you get into Twilight?
Actually, I missed the whole boat. I was a total hater.
Oh,
10 years ago, I was like in
really?
the perfect time of like when the age and everybody who's supposed to be into it.
Mm-hmm.
I got on the kind of like hate train for no reason, and I regret it. So my husband told me to watch the movies and then read the books like 2-ish years ago,
Wow.
and I finished it, and I was like, oh my god, I got nobody talking about it. Now everybody's done with it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so it was your husband?
I feel like you have.
Yes.
I feel like, am I wrong? I feel like you've told us this before, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've messaged you guys about it because it was reading the books as an adult without having that teenage experience. It just feels a little different.
Oh, yeah.
But he was a secret fan. I was like, we watched the movie, and I was like, you know, this is good. I kind of want to, like, it's pretty good. He's like, you should read the books. And I was like, yeah, we got to buy those. He's like, oh, you don't need to buy them. I got them. And he, like, pulled them out of, like, a
Oh, my
stack. I was
God.
like, where were you holding these?
Oh my god, that's so funny.
That is so cute.
Yeah, your husband he seems like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
He is so nice. He's so funny, too. And even better is when we met, I didn't know anything about Twilight. He wore a gray peacoat, and I didn't connect it until
my
the
God.
second time watching the movie, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh my gosh, how did he get into it?
He had I think his grandmother bought him a book, because she was like, I know you like fantasy novels, and bought him. And he was like, these are for girls, but I'll read them.
That's so
These are for
sweet.
girls. Well, I'll read them.
You know, we do have, not a ton, but we have some male
good
listeners.
amount, yeah.
More than we expected, and like several guys who we speak to, I feel like
Yeah.
on the regular.
Oh, guys love Twilight.
Yeah. And I have mad props for anyone who's open about it.
Me too. Whoa.
Yeah.
What
Especially, I feel like it's a little easier nowadays to be open about it.
do you and your husband have any differing opinions about the series that you disagree on?
We definitely do, and I'm trying to think of, because I will just read a theory and then we'll have a discussion for like an hour about it. Or sometimes I'll be like on my phone because I can't sleep, and I'll wake him up. I'm like,
Oh my god.
wait, what do you think? And he's like, you gotta stop. Go to bed.
That's cute.
I think what the big one is. I think probably the fight scene thing. I was like, I didn't really like the last of the breakdown. He's like, but the action, it's so good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We agree on most things.
I feel like that is a pretty divisive film.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely super divisive. What do you think about Breaking Dawn?
I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest of it. It was hard to get through for me. I
Yeah.
was like, the first two were so good. And it was just a weird storyline. There were way too many vampires with superpowers and things. I was like, this is too much.
I feel you.
Dial it back.
Mel and I kind of disagree about that because I don't mind all the vampires.
Yeah.
But you hate it.
I hate all
Yeah.
the extra vampires. It's just like, it's so far from the story. I can't invest in them.
Are you even a
Hey,
Twilight
it
fan?
seems like it's a rush. They could do a bunch of spin-offs where like Carlisle and them are all like visiting each clan.
Yeah.
You can have that sort of thing, but them all jam-packed. Like, we stuck all of them in the house together. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, it's like,
Real
honestly,
world.
it's like claustrophobic almost. Because they're also, it's like not a ton of vampires and like we see them doing things. We just see them standing around.
Yeah.
It's like
In one room.
yeah.
Do you
True.
think it was hard for Jasper then? Like, with all of them in the room, he's just feeling all of their thirst and, like, nervous energy?
That's such a
Probably.
good point. Probably.
How does Jasper not have like a mental breakdown?
Well, yeah, because I guess when he's in high school, he would feel that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is he really good at controlling his own emotions as well?
All the time he's gotta be.
Good question. But I feel like we do see him
Lose control.
lose control and feel remorse and agitated.
Yeah.
So if he was good at controlling his emotions, why would he ever feel that
I
way?
don't know.
I mean, if you're around a bunch of teenagers all day,
Yeah.
being able to control your emotions most of the time, I feel like it's a good accomplishment.
Yeah.
True.
That's true.
There's so much angst. He's like, I got Edward, and then I got the whole school.
I know. And Rosalie.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's
Can
not
any of
easy.
you calm down?
I need to calm down. It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah. Are you into, we wanted to ask you, are you into fan fiction at all?
I'm not. I want to read more. Just it's part of like the catching up thing. I feel like that's something I missed out on 10 years ago. There's probably so much fanfic and theories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it's...
But I get a little with like, I'm like, why does it have to be super sexual?
Yeah.
The other side. Just dash it in there, pepper it in.
I don't know.
I mean, it's weird because on the one hand, I'm like, oh, it's too sexual. But I feel like I'm also like, well, I'm reading this for it to be a little bit sexual.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be PG, but...
I don't know. I feel like I'm sure someone has done this. I feel like they could write that they have sex, but it doesn't have to be so graphic. You
No,
know?
I think there should be one or two graphic scenes. I just think that it shouldn't be
I'm
every
starting to laugh
single
again.
chapter.
You justice.
I think it would be really exciting if you still had that, but more rarely
Yeah.
in a story.
Mel, you should write it.
No, I don't think so. What if like in one of the books, all of a sudden it just got like super graphic?
That would be crazy.
Or like if she came out with a new one and you're reading it and then you're like, wait a second. She just goes rogue on us.
Maybe.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
I give the people what they want.
Yeah. Just like, I'll write it before anybody else does.
That'd be a shocker. Do you think she has it in her?
I'm sure she's thought about it. Right?
What do you think? Would Stephanie ever write a sex scene?
She probably has a couple drafted, but if
Yeah.
mom reads her draft, she's probably like,
Oh my god, that's so
File that away.
true.
Well, as we said in our last episode, like, everyone, like, has a different side to them. I'm sure Stephanie and Poncho talk about stuff like that all the time.
oh yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say that.
It was just funny where the conversation went.
Yeah.
Stephanie and Poncho.
Yeah. What do you think you like about the series?
Oh, that's a great question. It's like, hey, old woman, you got into this. Why?
No.
It's so easy to fall into, like, you're just in the atmosphere. She writes it so comfortably.
Yeah.
And everybody says it's a bad thing. They're like, well, it's so Bella's so basic. Everybody can picture themselves as her. But it's like, I kind of like that. I want to be in Forks. I want to be on a mystical adventure.
I feel that. Yeah, it is really atmospheric.
Yeah. I know. I think that's what I like is that, like, I feel as though experiences in my life can feel like I'm in the story sometimes, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like when it's a rainy day, it captures the vibes that I feel when I have watched the movie or read the book.
Yeah. Even sometimes I'm like driving down the highway and there's trees on the side and it sounds so corny, but I just like imagine the Cullens are like running in the woods.
That is corny.
Hey.
Well, we wanted to play a game with you, and we've never played any games before, so we don't know if this is gonna work.
Morgan, are you down?
Can't be worse than me trying to figure out Skype.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry about that.
You're gonna be.
No, it's all me. You guys are good.
No.
I know. We have technical difficulties all the time.
Yep.
It's kind of the name of the game.
Yep. We're amateurs.
Yeah.
So what's the game?
So this is just a random idea I came up with. I don't know if it's gonna work, but basically the game is one person says a very basic word. So the word could be like good, for instance.
Okay.
And the other people have to come up with a quote in Twilight that uses that word. And it can't, it's like a word, it's a commonplace word, and there could be obviously multiple quotes that use it, but it has to be just like a common word that could be in anything.
Yeah.
So good, like what would be an example of good?
I
can't even think of one.
Jacob going, I'm not good.
Yes, perfect. That's so good.
I thought of one.
What?
Wait, now I can't remember. Okay, it's just Edward saying good. Oh wait, it's when Jasper says in Eclipse, "This will work," and Edward goes, "Good."
Yes. Oh my god. Perfect. Yeah, you guys are good at this.
Thanks. Okay, so we'll do it like one person says a word and the other two
guess. And so Kelly and I came up with words, but if you want to be the person that comes up with the word too, we can just switch off.
Yeah. If you think of anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like sort of a lot of pressure.
Putting you on the spot, but I'll go first if you guys are down.
Okay.
Okay. This might be kind of an easy one. Technically.
Do you want to go first?
No, I don't have anything. You go.
So you guys, you have to beat each other. Whoever gets the quote first.
Oh my gosh.
Technically, I'm not breaking any part of the treaty.
Oh, good. That's not even the one I had in mind.
I don't have anything. What
Okay.
do you have in mind? Oh, shoot.
Edward doesn't live in town, technically.
Oh, man, I suck.
No, okay.
Good,
1 point for
nice.
Morgan.
Should I say a word, or are you doing?
No, you
words
can
now?
go. You can go.
We're just like figuring this out. Okay. The word is. Now I'm not even positive if this is a quote. Let's see if you can come up with anything, because I'm not sure if it's a quote.
Okay.
Party.
Another party, Alice?
Oh,
Is that a quote?
Good. I think so. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
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 I can't think of another one.
What did you have in mind, Kelly?
Maybe that was it.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I can picture Alice
I have
saying
another
party.
one. I have another one. Well, we're going to a party later.
Oh,
Jacob
yeah.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Eclipse.
Does Alice
Or
ever
a
say?
council meeting.
Yeah.
I would have dressed better.
Yeah. All right. Morgan, do you want to go or do you want me to take another one? I know we didn't give you any time to prepare any words.
This one's gonna be super easy, but truck.
Truck. Oh, checking out your truck?
What is that?
No, sorry. He says, sorry. I'm getting it so wrong. Bella says, hey, you coming to look at your truck? And Jacob says, yeah, got that den out.
Oh, got that den out. Yeah.
All right, 2 points from me.
I feel like, are we doing just movie?
You can do book if you are confident.
I'm not. I feel like
Okay.
she definitely says to Edward though, like, hey, don't
Oh,
insult the truck. Is
she
that
says
in the
it in
movie?
New Moon. Yeah, she
Oh.
says to Emmett, don't hate the truck.
She says that?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like, show some respect, my truck's your car's grandfather?
Oh,
Yeah, that's in the book.
Yeah. Man, even though I've seen the movies like a million times, I obviously don't have it memorized.
Well, it's hard.
I used to definitely have Twilight memorized. I might still, but the
It's-
other ones.
Hard because you're taking just a simple word that is not the most memorable word of the sentence.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, I have
Good
another one. I don't know. This will be hard.
Okay.
Anymore.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Anymore.
I knew this one was gonna be hard.
Is Laurent like going, we won't be bothering you anymore?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not even the one I had in mind.
Good.
Yep. I think so. The one I had, Kelly, do you want any?
I'm so bad at this. I got nothing.
I'm doubting if this is the real sentence, but I think Charlie says, you're not in Phoenix anymore, Belle.
Oh yeah, he says that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely says that. Good one.
I'm sure there's other instances too. Wow. All right, Kelly, you have 0 points right now.
Oh my gosh. 0?
Yeah, it's 2-2-0.
Okay, I have a word.
All right.
House.
House. God.
Wait, repeat the word?
House.
Health. Okay.
Oh no,
Oh,
house. Like
Help. Okay.
no. Well, we could do House.
House. I feel like this should be easy. We've never seen your house, which is what Jessica says in Eclipse.
Yeah.
Is that what you had in mind?
Yep. I don't even know if there's another one.
Does Bella say like your house is so light and open, or did she not say house in that whole scene?
That's the scene I was kind of thinking of, and I was trying to figure it out.
I don't think they actually say house.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think she's just like, wow, it's so light.
Yeah.
Open. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, yeah, house is not said in that whole scene.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, we have the script right there.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, I'm actually dominating at this right now.
God. Morgan, can you think of a word? No pressure. No pressure.
Ooh. Cabinet.
Cabinet. Is it definitely used in the series?
I know it's at least in the books.
Oh,
Oh
God.
God, I don't know if
That's
I can
hard.
think of anything.
Oh my.
Cabinet.
Oh my.
I don't think I can think of anything. Cabinet.
Is it in Eclipse?
I think it's in the first book.
Oh.
But there might be a cabinet line in the book. I don't
No,
remember.
I don't think there is.
Is it cabinet as in like a cabinet in a kitchen?
Yes. That's what I have in mind.
Or a cabinet in the government?
Dang.
I feel like I can picture the scene. I think I give up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I made that hard.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
I give up too.
I mean, we had preparation.
Describing the cabinets, and she's like, when Renee had painted them yellow to try to bring some light into it.
Yes. Yes.
That's good.
That is a really good one.
Oh my God.
So I was just imagine Charlie living with bright yellow cabinets forever.
That's cute.
I should have thought of that. All right. If no one gets it, then you get a point, I think.
Oh, that's good.
I'm making the rules up as I
Oh
go.
my gosh,
but-
I'm doing so
it's
bad.
3-3 nothing. You have 0 points, but let's see if you can get this one. Okay, the word is wrong.
This is wrong.
Is that a quote?
Yeah, it's from when Edward, after the Port Angeles thing, and they're kind of revealing feelings. He just goes, "This is wrong," and she starts crying in the car.
God,
Yeah, good.
you're good.
All right. Morgan,
Wow.
you're in the lead with 4 points right now. Kel, you gotta catch up, but now it's your turn, so let's see if...
Was that the quote you were thinking of?
Oh, no, I was thinking of, I tell you that I can read minds and you think there's something wrong with you. Or when Bella says, is there something wrong with me? And I
I thought of Jacob saying, I'm exactly right for you, Bella. Wrong direction.
Yeah.
The opposite. Okay, this is a super easy word.
Okay. Well,
So whoever gets it first, I guess.
this won't help you, but...
That's true. I guess I should think of a harder one. That was not part of my strategy.
I
I didn't
know.
even know I should do that.
I know.
Wait, let me think of something else then.
Okay.
The thing is, Morgan, I feel like you're better than us. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You should be hosting this podcast.
I know.
Because I don't really have
Well,
many.
I'm fresh to this. Everything's fresh in my mind. You're already living it. It's in your DNA.
I know. We realized, like, with hosting, because people in our real life think that, like, we're the biggest Twilight fans, and obviously we are huge fans, like, because we have a podcast about it. But in doing the podcast, we obviously interact with people who are huge fans, and it makes us feel like we are not as qualified as other people.
Yeah.
That's hogwash.
I do
You
feel
guys are
like
mega fans.
we are, but yeah, I guess it's true that like we are still wicked into it, but we were insanely into it like 10 years ago or more, and then it's not that we're getting back into it, but we're like bringing it back, into our lives.
Yeah.
So I feel like I forgot a lot. It's sad though.
I know.
Okay. Word, I don't
You don't have one?
Well, I'll just say the really easy word I was
Okay.
going to do, and we're just going to see who gets it first.
Okay.
So just shout it out. The word is him.
This is
Like
actually
H-I-M?
Yep.
this is actually hard.
Don't make me pick between you because it's going to be him.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes!
Oh my gosh, you have 5 points right now.
I have 0.
When should we?
Damn it.
Should it be the first person to a certain number, or?
I don't know.
I have 2 more words prepared, so how about everyone has 2 more rounds of it?
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have any, so I'll have to come up with them.
All right. Okay.
Oh my god.
Best.
Oh. Best man didn't have time to get
Yes!
a text.
Good job. One
Not the
point.
best man.
That's not even the one I had in mind.
Oh, what did you have in mind?
I had last night was the best night of my existence.
Oh, that's
Written
cute.
down.
Wow. I got a point. Finally.
On the board.
Oh wait, did we skip your turn, Morgan? Where are we going?
What did you say?
Did
Oh,
we
yeah.
skip your turn? I think we might have skipped your turn.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to think of something.
I don't have anything either.
My strategy.
Care.
Care.
C-A-R-E.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like I can think of like a way it would be used, but I can't think of the specific scene.
I feel like Bella says, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, I've killed people before.
Yeah, oh no, you're making a comeback.
Just don't touch it. Oh, okay.
Absolutely one.
Yeah, I was thinking of, doesn't Edward say like, oh, he says, I appreciate you for keeping Bella alive. They say something about like take care though, right? Taking care of her when I couldn't.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
remember he says for
It sounds
keeping
right.
her alive.
I don't know. Gosh.
The one I had in mind was Billy going, like, when he's warning Bella slyly, and he's like, you take care, Bella.
Oh, yeah. Bells. That's good.
Is it your turn?
I guess so.
All right. You might tie me. I have 3 points. You have 2.
Name.
Name. Gosh. Oh my gosh. You stumped me. I don't. Oh my god. No, I have to think of it.
Huh.
Do I get a point if I guess wrong? I mean, do I lose a point?
No.
Okay. The name's quiiiite. Is it a quote? No, he says
Sounds like...
He says I'm quiiiite. I don't think he
Yeah.
says name. Does anyone say like the name's Jessica? The name is
I think she says, like, oh, I finally remembered the girl's name from my class.
yeah.
Jessica. There were, like, 7 of them or something.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
We'll give you that.
I guess you got it.
Yeah, you got it.
What?
Well,
Yeah?
what did you have in mind, Kelly?
Well, of course, I was thinking movie, and I was just thinking, her name's Bella.
Ah!
Oh.
How did I not think of that? Oh my god. That's good. I honestly really like this game. I hope it's interesting to listen to. I feel like when people listen to this, though, they're going to be shouting it out themselves. They're going to be like, come on, you guys are idiots.
Yeah, so hard.
Hopefully.
Whose turn is it? My turn?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I've lost track.
Okay, this is my... Everyone gets one more turn. How about?
Okay.
Sorry if we're like... I'm super into it. Okay. Shit. Okay, yeah.
What?
Sorry, I forgot when this word was used myself. The word is crazy.
I don't have an exact quote. I feel like she says it in New Moon. Like maybe I really was going crazy, but I don't have an exact
If you're
quote.
not confident, yeah. Sorry.
I was thinking of Eclipse when she's like wiping her blood all over the trees, and he's like, "Oh, one whiff and I'll drive him crazy."
Is that
I
a
have no idea if
quote?
that's a line. I don't know. My brain says yes. The book in the movie probably say no. Huh.
I mean, I trust you.
I trust you.
You guys shouldn't. You've got the script.
I think in New Moon, I want to say that it's used twice. I think Jessica says, "Are you crazy?" after the
yeah.
motorcycle.
Yes.
And I think Jacob says, "Are you crazy?"
Oh yeah.
I want to say when she wants to go again on the motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Especially the just one.
Yeah.
Homeboy could have been a psycho.
Yeah. Homeboy.
Oh yeah. Whose
Alright.
turn is it?
This is so fun.
I think it's your turn.
Yay. Okay. Shoot, I'm not ready.
Or Morgan, you can go if you have one.
Yeah.
Oh, I think of one too. I'll go for a really, really easy one. City.
Okay.
City.
Wait, what is it?
City.
City?
City.
I feel like sometimes the ones that seem the easiest are the hardest.
Wait.
City. Is this in the movie as well?
It should be. Yeah.
I feel like it's
Thinking of like a big major one.
I feel like it's an eclipse.
We're dumb.
I feel like it's used to say the newborns are terror. No, sorry. There's a serial killer on the loose in this city. No, I'm not. I'm not confident.
Me neither.
The ones you think are the easiest.
Seattle is in a state of terror. City. I don't know.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah,
No, but I don't know what the quote is.
Yeah, I know. I feel like if you can't say the quote, it doesn't count. City.
Yeah, now that I've said it, I'm sitting there like, wait, was that actually the quote?
Well,
But-
I believe you. What do you think it is?
I'm thinking it's the one in New Moon
Oh.
when they're talking about at the end, City of Volterra. Like they celebrate
yeah.
every year.
Oh. They definitely say city.
Yeah, they
Dang
definitely
it.
do.
Oh my god, I didn't even
Oh
think
my
that.
god, you have
You get a point.
7 points right
You're
now
killing
on the board.
us.
There's no way we can win, but Kelly, I could try to, you could try to tie me right now.
Okay.
I think you guys are going easy on me.
I'm not. You were really good at this.
Yeah, you're really good at this.
I was nervous because I was like, well, I came up with the game. I feel like I might dominate this too much. It won't be fair to anyone else.
Wow, we just got like punched.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta think of something. Okay.
Okay.
I thought of a quote, so I thought of a word. Going.
I feel like. Where are you going? Did someone say that? I don't know what it is. No, hey, where are you going? It's one of the frat boys in Twilight.
True.
Oh, it's also in
Yeah.
the blood typing scene when he's gonna drive her home.
He says, "Where are you
Like,
going?"
pulls on the back of her jacket, and he's like, "Where do you think you're going?"
Oh, good.
Yeah. I might say I got that one, but
You did.
What I was thinking was going around.
oh yes, good. It's a thing that's going around. All right.
Wow, Morgan won.
Final score, Morgan, you have 7. I have 4, and Kelly has 2.
This is such a good game.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, thank you for testing it with us.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Anytime.
Literally the first time.
I hope it's just as fun to listen back to for people. I mean, we
I
might
think it'll be infuriating.
Possibly.
Possibly.
That's our favorite quote.
It's hardest, I feel like, to even... The hardest part is coming up with a good word that's going to both stump people, but also be, like, approachable enough to guess.
That's true.
Yeah. Or just like, you're like, I'm pretty sure the quote said this.
Yeah, but you don't know the exact quote and you don't know the exact scene.
Yeah. Thanks for playing with us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys.
We
finishing
appreciate
everything, I
you.
was like, who am I going to talk to about this stuff? Like, and I typed it on Spotify, found you guys. I was like, this is the best.
Wow.
You guys are infectious. When I'm listening to it, like, I'll do my commute, when I'm at work,
Are you
trying
kidding?
to catch up, and it's just so fun.
Oh my goodness.
That is so sweet.
Thank you so much. That really means so much to us. Because, see, honestly, when we started this, we didn't think, like, anybody was going to listen at all.
It's crazy.
And we weren't, like, embarrassed to start it, but I feel like there is a little bit of...
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing to put it out there.
Put it out there, and especially people in your real life are like, oh, you're doing that? And I feel like people think it's, like, kind of silly at first, but then to, like, have it be well received by people and feel like it bonds you with people, it's so validating.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think the media hype of the past is hopefully chipping away, and I think people are being a lot more open with what other people like.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
people are coming out of the woodwork like, I really love this.
Yeah,
I agree.
I know.
I think you guys have inspired a lot of people. I've been seeing a bunch of new podcasts pop up
Oh
for
yeah.
Twilight, so.
Wow. Us?
That means
That's crazy.
that means a lot to us.
Wow.
You guys are the OGs, though.
Well, hey, thank you.
I think that's so sweet too that your husband loves it.
Yeah, no, he's one of a kind, for sure. Snagged him up. It's been
That's so
going on
cool.
10 years this summer.
Oh my gosh. How did you guys meet?
I sat across from him in a class, senior year of high school.
Wow.
We didn't talk for like the entire year. I stared at him because we were like in computer classes facing each other
Yeah.
with huge computer monitors back to back. So I stared at him a lot. And I finally got the courage to talk to him, and
Oh.
we were like, "Oh, I'm going to college soon. But I really like you." And the rest is history.
Wow.
Wow.
That's so Twilight.
I know, I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, neither of us are gonna. We most likely gonna end up with someone from high school, so
No.
so that's really cool.
Yeah.
I always secretly kind of wanted that, but oh well.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you never know.
Well, we wouldn't have like dated this whole time, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, someone could come out of the woodwork.
I'm sorry. I feel like you've told us before, maybe, but I'm not remembering. Where do you guys live?
We live in Virginia, right outside of D.C.
Oh, cool. East Coasters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
When we went to Washington, when people would ask us where we were from, if they were just from the same coast, you felt like, since it was so far away, you felt like you were bonded.
Oh yeah, remember that woman was like, Pennsylvania or something.
We were like, oh, nice. Even though I've never been to Pennsylvania.
Just so excited.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for Billy Burke?
Oh, we are so excited.
Yeah. I'm
Do you think
intimidated.
he'll show up with a mustache?
Oh, God, I would die.
I hope so.
I hope so. I don't know, like, what to even say to him.
I know.
It is so crazy because, like, he'll just be walking among us, like, at the parties. Like, what if he's dancing?
Oh my gosh. Oh, you said there's karaoke too.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like the last night, which is when karaoke was, a lot of people had left. Not people, but a lot of the stars had.
Well, Eric Odom stayed.
Eric was there, yeah.
And Alex went for a few hours, but he left early.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
I feel like we know Alex Mraz.
I know.
We don't, but like...
He probably has no memory of us.
Anyway, yeah, very exciting.
I know.
Crazy.
That's so exciting. You guys are gonna. I don't think I'll be able to make it, but I know you guys are gonna have a blast for the rest of us.
Aww.
Well, they have it every single year, so I mean, who knows who they'll get the following year.
Yeah.
There's always.
True.
They get you.
Yeah, they get you. I mean, we really thought we were going to be one and done, and here we are going back. I wonder if we'll go the following year.
Maybe.
Maybe we're the kind of people who go every year now.
Maybe.
We have the staples, the resident podcasters.
Gosh. Yeah. Hopefully the world is back to normal then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys holding up good, though?
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Yeah.
We're together.
Yeah. We don't really have, like, jobs that require us to go in or interact with people. So we're definitely on the more fortunate side of things.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Similar. I mean, I interact with my teams, but working from home, it's a little tough, being in a one-bedroom with my husband and 2 cats, so all day.
I know, it's crazy. It's weird how, I don't know, because I have said on the show before that I work remotely, but it does feel different.
Is it weird working remotely and having me home all the time?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is weird. Yeah. So usually
You guys have to go to, like, opposite ends of the apartment for calls at the same time?
Kinda.
Yeah. I usually work in my room. And Kelly usually works in her room or the living room.
I don't know why. I like to do living room in the morning and then my room in the
I've
afternoon.
noticed that. I know. Yeah, wait. I have noticed that. That is interesting.
I like
Change of
doing
scenery.
that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It works for me for some reason.
Yeah, if it works for you,
Yeah.
it works.
I need to change the scenery. I don't know.
I can't do the living room at all. I can only do my room.
How come? Because your monitor? Or
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For my second screen. But I still feel like I would get distracted out here.
Yeah. I don't know why. I like to move halfway through the day. Well, gosh, this has gone on for 50 minutes actually. It's
gone by so
awesome.
fast.
I'm sorry. I don't know how long you expected this to be, but gosh, thank you for talking to us and like even wanting to and for listening to the show.
I know.
It's just so cool.
Trust me, it's completely my pleasure. It's like the best birthday gift I could get.
Oh.
You guys keep doing what you're doing because it's great.
Oh.
It's fun and insightful and fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I am speechless.
Okay,
I'm smiling so much.
We'll do it.
And anybody out there who can beat me on 7 points, challenges out there.
I doubt it, but
I
maybe.
know.
Maybe.
I know. Maybe we can play this game again and see if we can refine our.
I need to start rereading the
wit.
books
I know.
like, right now.
I know, because also if you told me a quote, I'd be like, I trust you, but I don't know. I don't have a fact checker.
I know.
Next, you have to say the page number.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody could.
Yeah, someone.
Oh, the game's on. Somebody's got all the quotes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah.
And have a happy birthday.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your quarantine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah, and reach out whenever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I have a couple beers, couple glasses of wine. I give my hot take. You see them.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. All right. We'll talk
Bye,
to you
guys.
then.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. You can contact us at anotherbiteoftwilight@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at anotherbiteoftwilight. Theme music is by Traces. See you next time.